I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, it never left you stealing me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. Now, Bill Gates is not the only Bill that I've been observing, and not the only Bill that I find kind of disturbing. Let's go back to the year 1986 and meet the 99th Congress. What a bunch of dicks. They came up with H.R. 4456, the Child Vaccination Act. And here's a wild, fascinating fact. If your company that you own and they supply the vaccine, somebody died, nobody gets tried in a court of law at all. Problem solved. No retribution, no legal solution. You all scot-free. Watch me. Hop on a plane with Mr. Epstein. Now boarding the Lolita Express. Whoa, look over there, man. Is that Eminem and Stephen Colbert? And look, it's the two Bills, Clinton and Gates. Oh man, and they look like they're hitting on that girl that we met on the plane, the one that was with Ghislaine. I think her name was Courtney. Shit, she's only 14. We need to get the fuck up out of here. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, it never let you stealing me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Now, let's say that you got a foundation, and almost all your donations, they're directed toward the containment of a particular contagion. And one of your experts, he's kind of grouchy, his name is Mr. Fauci. He comes up with an equation. Fear plus persuasion equals the creation of a frightened nation whose panic and lack of education and only wanting just some protection from this agent of infection, they head in your direction and they ask Mr. Bill for their injection. Wanting just protection from this agent of infection. Why don't you go get your shine box? Your direction. Go get your fucking shine box, Tony. Injection. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me and never left you stealing me, I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Dear Bill, I wrote you, but I keep getting returned to sender. I've even tried your wife Melinda, but she's putting a block on my calls. There's a rumor she might have a cock and balls. I apologize for the cursing. I guess you two are never in the same room at the same time, so people think you might be the same person. But anyway, fuck it, man. What's been up? How's the vaccine biz? I know you wish that everybody was on board like Maxine is. Oh, guess what? My wife's pregnant again. You remember Myrtle? Yeah, I always seem to wind up with the skanks. And what's up with you having 3 kids? I thought Melinda was infertile and you were shooting blanks. And what's up with all these tanks? I see them being transported on a train. Is that for martial law? This shit's getting insane. You remember when I met you in New Delhi and you were complaining that it was really smelly? Well, I asked you if it was safe getting that polio vaccine and you said I was making a great decision. Yeah, well, my daughter's okay, but my son Micah, he lost his vision. Yeah, it's been some time and a lot of tears now. And Micah, he's been blind for years now. He's gotten pretty good at walking with a cane, though. Anyway, hit me up, yo. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, you never left you stealing me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is Tuesday, and it is time for the first presidential debate of this year. Boy, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of looking forward to this. I don't imagine very many people still haven't made up their mind if they're going to vote, who they're going to vote for. I think minds have already been made up. I think they were made up months ago. But I don't know. Maybe there's still some people on the fence. Boy, I'd hate to be them right about now, wouldn't you? What's up, Gerald B? What's up? Hold on one second. Wow, that just came in all of a sudden. QL, first. LOL, first time I've ever said that. All right, cool. Well, congratulations on being first. George Washington's in the house, one of my favorite presidents. Gerald B's in the house. Hello. Gerald B doing okay. All right, good. This time of the day is almost dinner time, says Gerald B. Well, I'm sorry that I hit you up for dinner, but thank you for being here. Good evening, and all this should be fun. Let's the games begin and enjoy. And Get Real thinks that's a cool song. Well, I do too. And if you want to support that artist or watch more of his stuff, and he's got some good stuff. I like one called Break Quarantine. That one is on his channel. You can check it out. Link is in the descriptions below. Gabriel Montoya, what's up, everybody? Should be an entertaining night. Yes, it should. So first and foremost, before we get started, we are having giveaways. You don't even have to be a subscriber to enter. What? You just have to be watching this stream. And what are we giving away? Well, I'll tell you what, the grand prize at the end of the night, okay, after the debate, before we end this stream, we will draw a winner. We are giving away a hunk of aluminum. It's just a hunk of aluminum. And you can see nothing's drilled out, right? So it's just a piece of aluminum in a certain shape that a lot of people don't like. We're giving this away. This is the grand prize, okay? You're going to have multiple chances, and everybody who's here now is going to have a better chance than anybody who joins us later, because throughout the chat tonight, we will be revealing code words, okay? I'm going to announce the code word. I'm going to have the code word pop up on the screen, and then you're going to email that, or all those code words, and don't email it right away, right? I want you to take notes on the code words. And then at the end of the night, when I say it's time to email those answers, email the code words that we talked about to RiddleGirl. What email do you want?
RiddleGirlStinger.
RiddleGirlStinger@gmail.com. RiddleGirl, drop that in the chat. I will bring up a overlay of her email address that we will be using. That way, you know, if you guys forget the email address, then there you go. However, that's not the only prize that we're giving away. We're going to give away 11 other prizes. Now, here's the one and only rule to this giveaway, or these giveaways, is if you want the item, I'm going to have a place to mail it. Okay? Some people, I mean, if you don't want to give out your address, then, you know, don't bother sending in the code words because it doesn't matter. Also, we're going to have 11 other places that finish, and that's going to be a different kind of metal, right? That's going to be dime-sized pieces of metal that might be constitutional metal. And so there you go. There's, I believe there's three Mercuries, and the rest are Rosies. Right? So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's not a whole bunch, but it's something. If you want to get on that, could technically have 11 people win that. If 11 people don't want to enter it, then obviously I won't be giving doubles away. You know what I mean? Let's see. And Irish USMC vet just texted me. That's what that noise was. All right. So those are the basic rules. Let's see. Armed Archangel. Well. Hello, everyone. Long time no see. Yeah, man. It's been a minute. So, I don't know. You all excited? Anybody here definitely going to enter? Hopefully. I mean, I think that's a pretty cool giveaway, bro. I do. And I don't know. Maybe I should have this put up somewhere, you know? I don't know. What's up, Armed Angel? Oh, I could probably scroll it. Okay. All right, let's get to a couple stories beforehand, because this is the evening catch-up, so thank you very much. Trump's campaign wants to examine Biden's ears for electronic devices before the debate. President Trump's campaign wants to have a third party examine both his and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's ears for electronic devices before Tuesday night presidential debate. Part of the ongoing effort by president supporters to paint the former vice president as mentally incompetent. Well, if he does have something in his ear, I don't think that paints him as incompetent. That proves that he's incompetent. It also comes after Trump spent the past week portraying Biden as a candidate beholden to his handlers and unable to stand on his own, suggesting repeatedly that Biden would be under the influence of performance-enhancing substances during the debate and demanding that both candidates submit to a drug test before taking the stage. The president has said he's willing to participate in such an ear inspection, and the Trump campaign claims Biden initially agreed to one as well. Fox News reported. A Trump campaign official also told Fox that the Biden team has requested 2 breaks during Tuesday night's event, one every 30 minutes. But that's the president's re-election campaign does not want them. And the reason why is I believe that they're worried that instead of going to the bathroom every 30 minutes, he's going to go get some answers or some good quips to go up against the president from his guy. Our guy doesn't need breaks. He gives 90-minute speeches all the time, an unnamed campaign source told the outlet. During a pre-debate call with reporters on Tuesday, Biden's spokesperson Kate Bedingfield shot down the Trump campaign claims. Of course, he's not wearing an earpiece, and we would never ask for breaks. So apparently there should be no breaks. All right? It's pathetic. It's weak. Once again, Trump's campaign is lying. Okay. In a tweet shortly thereafter, Trump campaign spokesman Tim Murtaugh shot back. Joe Biden's handler several days ago agreed to a pre-debate inspection for electronic earpieces, but today abruptly reserved themselves and declined. He said Biden asked for multiple breaks during the debate, which President Trump does not need. So we have rejected that request. Joe Biden's handler several days ago agreed to a pre-debate inspection for electronic earpieces, but today, I already read that part. So what do you guys think? You think Biden's going to cheat with earpieces? All right, let me go ahead and set this up because I only got a few more minutes until this starts up. So I'm gonna get something on the screen that scrolls. All right. Sorry for not having this set up before, but hopefully you understand. Let's see. All right, let's get that a little bit smaller. Let's say 75. Yeah, that's not bad. And then we will make it, we'll make it white, why not? And then we'll make a background, right? And there we go. Okay. And then we will properties. Is it transform? I think it's transform, right? No. There's a filter. Yeah. What is it? Scroll? Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I'll go 70. All right, cool. Everybody can see that now then? Sweet. I'm going to edit that just a little bit though, because I don't like how that looks. There, that should be better. All right, should be a fair debate. Okay. Let's see, pretty sweet. Yeah, we thought so. Earpieces, why would you need... Okay, so first of all, the dimes. As I said, I have 3 Mercuries. Those are going to be random. I know some people like the Mercuries more, and some people like the Rosies more. I'm not going to be like, well, if you want which one, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to randomly give the winner one of them, and you might be the one that gets the Rosie, or you might be one that gets the Merc. You know what I mean? Walter Davis is in the house. It's hard to catch the live show at 12 a.m. when I get up for work at 3. Whew, I'm sorry, Armed Archangel. That's pretty messed up. Earpieces, why would they need one? They are that bad. Yeah, I'm going to switch over to live chat before Riddle Girl yells at me. I knew it. Okay, let me see where I'm at. Pretty sweet. I don't think so. Should be a fair debate. Good evening. Walter Davis is in the house. RG, even if he does, he will make a fool of himself, but we'll see. Hello, Walter. Hell yeah. Okay. Biden asked for a break every 30 minutes. Trump campaign asked for inspections for earpiece on Biden. Trump campaign has made known its wishes to have both President Trump and presidential candidate Joe Biden checked for any electronic devices or transmitters that make it impossible for either candidate to receive information from campaign members during Tuesday night's debate. I mean, that's almost unfair, though. If you take away Biden's ability to cheat, I mean, it's going to just be kind of sad, right? Fox News producer Pat Ward took to Twitter Tuesday, tweeting that negotiations were underway between the 2 candidates on terms of the debate. Fox News has learned new details about the debate negotiations between Biden and Trump campaigns ahead of tonight's debate. Fox News has learned... I already read that part. Ward shot off another tweet saying that Trump campaign wants the Biden campaign to allow a third party to inspect the ears of the debaters for electronic transmitters. And of course, he'll be all right doing it as well. The Trump campaign wants the Biden campaign to allow... Why does it repeat the same darn thing? I don't like that story. Sorry I even brought that up. Let's go here. Ooh, looks like they're getting ready. And we have approximately, what is that, like 14 minutes? Should have brought more stories up, right? Let's see. Hey, my video is finally on BitChute. That's another thing. I'm about done with BitChute. And it's sad because I want to have another platform just in case I get booted off of this one. But BitChute takes forever to upload videos. I mean, well, the upload's not that bad, but processing, right? There's plenty of live chats that I've had weeks ago that are still technically processing over on BitChute. And I'm not cool with that. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see. Headline, wealth. Stocks more lower as investors await presidential debate. I don't know, anybody in the stock market right now, I would suggest you get out of the stock market. Just my opinion. I am not an investor, somebody to give you investing advice, though. Biden's payroll tax donut hole isn't so sweet. Yeah, there was a story. Was it over here? Hush. Biden's releases 2019 tax returns hours before presidential debate. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden and his running mate Senator Kamala Harris released their 2019 federal and state tax returns on Tuesday, hours before the former vice president meets face-to-face with Trump in his first debate in 2020 presidential race. The release comes days after a bombshell New York Times investigation showed that Trump paid just $750 in federal income tax in both 2016 and 2017 and paid no taxes in 10 of the 15 previous years. The newspapers detailed questionable tactics that the president reportedly used to lower his tax bill over multiple years. Not just Trump's doing that. I mean, there is a system in place. Biden and his wife reported an adjusted gross income of $985,000 and paid a total of $300,000 in taxes for an effective tax rate about 30%. Well, isn't the tax rate for the 1% supposed to be more like 50%? So obviously he's got a couple tax breaks in there as well. The former VP income in 2019, when he spent most of the year as presidential candidate, was substantially less than it was in 2017 and 18. He and his wife reported adjusted gross income of more than $11 million for 2017 and nearly $4.6 million for 2018. Well, we already know a lot of his nonprofits are a good way to make money for him as well. So I don't know. I'm glad he released them. I am kind of pissed off at Trump for when he first ran for president. He talked about how he was looking forward to releasing his tax returns. And now he wants to keep them secret. I don't know why, but I find that interesting. All right, got a lot of people in the chat. Hey, Sting, a riddle, armed archangel, get real. Huh? Oh, you're saying hello to get real. Sorry. As long as Biden doesn't disrobe or wet himself, I'll call it a win for Biden. Biden will be on drugs. I guess Biden supports legalizing meth. I don't know. Do you think that's what he's taking? Adderall, maybe? Ritalin? Yeah, bitch, you kind of sucks. Yeah, it does. I'm thinking, we did a story, I think it was on LBRY. It's a new platform that Google has tried to squash. I might look into that. I need to find another platform, just in case. Especially when I want to make pew pew videos, right? And in order to make them here on YouTube and still get monetized, I'm gonna have to edit out all the sounds, or I'm gonna have to make trailers for the video and then have the actual video over on BitChute, yada yada. You know, the game that you have to play being a conservative, wanting to have your Second Amendment constitutional right on a platform that's supposed to be an open source, you know, town square where you can have the freedom of speech and stuff like that. Let's see. Gabriel, he has seemed to be speaking better lately, not as bad as in March. He couldn't even finish a sentence. Well, you know, I guess he's been in his basement taking well, it's been a lot of debates, or not debates, but like interviews where he gets the answers in advance, or the questions in advance, right? So he knows it's scripted. Tonight won't be scripted, hopefully. LRBY seems better. I don't know. I have not signed up over there yet, but I'm going to look into it for sure. Giveaway. Keep an eye out and an ear out for the code words. Write them down and keep them to the end. Email them to riddlegirlstinger@gmail.com when Poison Stinger says, and you will be entered to win. And I'll tell you what, the reason why we're doing the code words is because, let me go over this a little bit. Each time, or for each code word that you enter correctly in the email, you get one entry. There's going to be a total, I believe, of 5 code words. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5 code words. So you can technically get entered into this giveaway 5 times. But people who get in late or don't write them all down will be able to enter, but not as many entries. Sound good? I should probably enter the email into this scrolling thing as well. So, email code words to Is it with ones?
No.
No.
Ones.
All right. Now let's see. How are we doing for the stream? Or for this? Is it still live? Well, they're still moving. All right. Oops. Oh, boy, there's a lot more chat I didn't see. Lies, likes, fakes, news. Oh, there's OMG. Hey, OMG, how you doing? Trump said he's paid millions. Yeah, maybe. Trump's personal and his corporate taxes are different. My guess is Trump's businesses paid tens of millions. I have no idea on that. I'm just reading what I see. And I don't blame him for trying to get a tax cut. Shoot. If I had to pay that kind of tax, if I was rich and I made my money legitimate in the first place or whatever, you know, if I'm an honest person, which I believe I am, right? I still don't want to pay taxes. I think it's unconstitutional. This country was won because we decided we didn't want to pay a 2% tax. And look at all the tax we pay now. Not only do we pay a tax, we pay tax on our tax, and then tax on that tax, and then tax on that tax. It's ridiculous. Walter Davis, Trump's personal and corporate. I already read that. Real Girl, I just barely found out the LRBY. I checked it out. Apparently, it's been around since 2018. Wow. It's 2 years. Hello, did food shopping and got tired of all the walking through the store. Hey, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that. M is in the house. Hi, I forgot about the offshore accounts they do not declare. Yeah, there's that too. He donates his entire president's wage, which is good. I'll give him that. Right? If people want to get on Trump for his taxes, how about let's get on the Congress and the senators for going in there, you know, maybe with a couple $100,000. Or how do you become multi-millionaires on like a $100,000 a year salary? Let's ask that question. How do they do that? How do they become worth so much money on the salary they get for being in Congress or in the Senate? He already released them. Number 7 on the like button. Thank you very much, TB9, Mr. TB9. Let's see. Oh crap! Is Google meh? Yeah. Is there a new platform called Gab? I think many are moving to DLive. I am on DLive. Oh, that reminds me. There is a chance that this stream gets taken down because YouTube doesn't like it when we play live stuff like this. So, if this stream gets taken down, I am streaming right now also on DLive. So, head over to DLive, Poison Stinger, or / Poison Stinger, right?
Yeah, it's in the description.
It's in the descriptions below. So if you go out down in the descriptions below, if this chat or if this live stream on YouTube gets removed, then everybody come over to DLive because we ain't skipping a beat. We're gonna keep on going. Walter Davis is saying hello to Tommy. Jay Sparks is in the house. What's up? Just his payroll taxes have to be tens of millions. Giveaway rules? What about the giveaway rules? You want me to say it again?
I said the giveaway rules.
Oh, yeah. But you haven't missed the first code word. Taxes are stealing. That's exactly right. Exactly right, Get Real. Congressional insider trading, paid lobbyists, yep, bouncing checks out of the House's bank. So let me show, I mean, it's going across the screen on the bottom. But here we go. It's a hunk of aluminum, right? You have to do whatever you want to do in order to make it whatever you want to make it. But I mean, for right now, it's just an aluminum paperweight. But good luck finding these, right? These are hard to find right now. And if Biden wins, you probably won't be able to get this, right? So this is the grand prize. You get 1 entry for every code word you get right when you email Riddle Girl the code words at the end of the night. And 11 other people, potentially, depending on if 11 people are interested, will get a silver constitutional dime. 3 of them are going to be Mercuries, and the other ones are going to be Rosies. Sound cool? And don't forget, if this stream goes off live, then go over to D Live because I am streaming there. And by the way, hello to anybody over on D Live. How y'all doing? In fact, let me check to see. I've got 2 viewers over on D Live right now. What's up, D Live? I believe, Real Girl, can you check the D Live chat? Make sure that we are restreaming the chat from over there.
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
The restream bot is awake and doing their job.
Good, 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 good. And for some reason, I didn't have a problem with Flim all day until right now. I wonder if this the whole crowd or what. I mean, this thing is supposed to start in like 1 minute. Right? I mean, I got that right? 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, Real Girl says hi from D Live. Let me bring up my chat. Let's see. OMG, they can't agree on the Rona stimulus package, but they can get bipartisan support to give themselves a raise. Yeah, and in my video today, they can the Republicans, I love it. Oh, you got to vote us into you got to vote us in if you want us to do anything about big tech censorship. And then you're going to do nothing. You're going to do nothing. I'm so tired. I am so tired of the empty promises from both sides. But obviously more from the side that I agree with, right? Holy fook. If Biden stays awake and doesn't wet himself, the media will conclude this was a debate for performance for the ages. Yeah, I think somebody else had mentioned that as well. I have 6 in a box already. Bought a while back. Oh, yeah? Well, you can add another one if you want to. You don't have to enter if you don't want to either, but I am giving away constitutional dimes too. I mean, it's just a dime, but... Dude, 11 of them, that's a pretty good chunk from me. The only difference between a taxman and a taxidermist is the taxidermist allows you to keep the skin.
Ew.
Ready for the code words. Yeah, we're going to get ready here pretty soon. Hey, Nugs. Cool. It's 8 p.m. Eastern right now. Really? I told Riddle Girl I didn't want to be an hour and a half early, but I guess we messed that one up. Apologize for that.
They told me, it was said right on there that it was going to be at 6 o'clock MST. It is 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
MST.
so MST, Mountain Standard Time, is not Arizona time. Supposedly we are 1 hour behind it. So we thought it was going to be at 5, but apparently it is going to be at 6. So I don't have anything prepared. We're just going to hang out for an hour.
Oh my goodness.
All right. 1 more hour. Bry's in the house. What's up, Bry? How you doing? Maybe Real Girl can dance for us? I don't think so. If you want dancing girls, though, I mean, we got dancing girls. Ooh, yeah, baby. Show me what you're working with. Biden has been practicing his lines for all year for this moment. Let's see. And well, I don't know why I keep doing that. IN Fidel. It's only 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I know. I'm early. We did the math wrong. That's what happens when you live in a state that doesn't have daylight savings time, right? You're the oddball out. You never know because everybody else changes and you stay the same. By J Sparks, when they say they want to make us safe instead of protect our liberty, F safety, thank you. Late. Yes, Real Girl, it did say 8 p.m. 7 p.m. here. Maybe both of yous can dance. Nah, I'm good. 5 here, 7 here. All right, cool. Everybody knows the time. You'll take the first one. Well, the giveaway for the dimes and for the lower, or I'm sorry, the 80% piece of aluminum, that's not until the end of the stream. The code words will be coming up soon. And I'm gonna talk about some other things since we got an hour to wait. I mean, shoot, why not, right? So let me go see what we got. Avoid infected money with touchless payments. Oh, cashless society. What do you guys think of that? Avoid dirty money with touchless payments. If you're looking for self-improvement tasks in this pandemic era, try teaching yourself to use contactless payment with your phone or tap to pay, credit, and debit cards. Any germaphobe will tell you that the surfaces of bills and coins have always been gross. And handling your credit card to a cashier who has the sniffles and a hacking cough like myself right now, even in pre-pandemic times, is gross. Now, the C-19 has prompted the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to advise using touchless payments whenever possible in the brick-and-mortar world. I would imagine most of the people in this chat realize that they want us to go to a paperless currency for a lot of reasons, including maybe $1 a reset, not to mention the tracking that you can do on that. Americans have been relatively slow to adopt touch-free payments, even though they're more convenient and secure than swiping credit and debit cards. But maybe hygiene will be a tipping point as people seek a solution for, yucky money. I think the pandemic is a strong impetus to change, said Jody Kelly, CEO of the Electronic Transactions Association. I think it's going to stick and accelerate further as people get used to it and understand how to do it and find it's simple and convenient, that they're not going to shift back. I don't know. Maybe. There's a lot of sheep out there that don't care about their privacy. They don't care about the fact that if you do anything wrong, they can just freeze all your accounts and then you don't have that money, because these are the same people that don't mind the government prying into their personal stuff because, I have nothing to hide. Why would I care about, protecting my identity or protecting my Fourth Amendment, right? I don't care. I'm not doing anything wrong. Consumer interest in contactless payments has spiked during the pandemic. I don't doubt it.
You should catch up on chat.
Yeah, you guys lighting it up, are you? Holy crap. Holy shit. Holy crap. Take the first one. Finally here. Great dancing. Yeah, live AS. Pre-Dawn. Yeah, what's up, Pre-Dawn? Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad you're here, man. We're giving away pieces of aluminum and pieces of silver, bro. And I'm about to do the first code word. AZ is 3 hours behind Virginia. Can't wait to see Biden get owned. Yeah, it should be fun. Terrence Fibian, how you doing? Trance, sorry. One of these days I'll get it right. I use that. What do you use? OMG, great dancing. Okay. The answer is that both candidates suck. Did I win? No, that's not the answer. It's code words for the 80% aluminum paperweight. And the other one is a very, very simple question that you will not miss, Mr. TB9. You will not miss it. I guarantee you will not miss it. The other people, you might have to Google it. And I will accept that you have to Google it. But as I said, there's 11 dimes. Okay, since we got plenty of time, let me go over this again. There's going to be code words that pop up. They're going to pop up right here. Well, actually right here. Okay, code words are going to pop up. I'll announce it. I'll say code word is, in a point. I'm not going to say it, right? But it'll pop up. You write that down. At the end of the night, for every code word, do one email, right? Send one email with all the code words that you wrote down. And you'll get an entry into the contest for this piece of aluminum for each correct code word.
You should say
or
it out
phrase.
loud in case you have any vision impaired people.
Okay, you're right, Riddle Girl. I will say it out loud just in case we have a visually impaired person, which I do know of somebody. I'm subscribed to them. I don't know if they're subscribed to me, but Patriot in the Dark. So if he drops by, yeah, I will definitely read it, just in case somebody like that is in the chat. Right? So for each code word, you get an entry. Now, for the very easy question on this, the first 11 people that emailed me that answer at the end of the night will get one of those. You obviously have to give me an address to send it to. So if you email me the answer and then you say, well, I don't want to give out my address, I'm going to be upset. I'll be perturbed. Let's just say that, right? Because I'm just going to keep it myself. I'm not even going to give runners up, right? First 11 people win. If one of those 11 people say, never mind, I didn't want to give out my address, then I'm keeping that dime. You know what I mean? It's too much work. My money has cocaine on it. I bet it does. I think everybody's does, doesn't it? The answer, I read that. Pre-dawn, we got some messages being removed. Mr. T for the win, both suck. Yep, that is a good answer. I remember that. Have never seen this many people in the chat. Well, I do appreciate every single one of you. If you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream so far. I am sorry that it's an hour and a half earlier than I thought it would be, but...
They changed the time. They had to have, because I did my math correctly. I did.
So does stripper nipples? Oh, we're going to get... This is not getting monetized. I might as well just start cussing myself. And Armed Archangel.
Stripper nipples.
Yep. All right. Excuse me. Let's see. Let me see what else we got here. I want to give it at least another few minutes before we give out the first code word, because I only got 5 code words. Let's see. Breonna Taylor Jr. in turmoil? Juror?
Yes. You should read that. That's a good one. I'm glad I sent it to you now, because we need something.
Yeah, we need stories for sure. Juror in Breonna Taylor case says they were never given the option to indict the 2 other cops involved in her killing, and that Kentucky AG Daniel Cameron is misrepresenting the case. The grand jury was only asked to weigh wanton endangerment charges against Brent Hackinson, one of the 3 cops involved in Taylor's March killing. They were not given the option to charge with Jonathan Mattingly or Miles Cosgrove, the others involved. Interesting, I did not know that. Kentucky AG Daniel Cameron ruled that no charges could be brought against them because Taylor's boyfriend had shot at them first. But did you bust in his door first? You know what I mean? Once you break into somebody's house, warrant or not, depending on how it went down, and obviously we do not have body cam footage. Apparently I believe this case, they said that they audibly turned their body camera footages off. I could be wrong on that. That could be misinformation on my part. But if that's the case, then I call BS, man. Cameron's office concluded that they were therefore acting in self-defense by shooting back. Hackinson shot at the apartment but did not strike Taylor. He has therefore not been charged with murder or manslaughter. The juror is in turmoil over the outcome and wants the public to have access to all of the records involved. There's an ongoing outrage over the fact that none of the cops have been charged with murder. They were carrying out a no-knock warrant in connection with a drug trafficking investigation into Taylor's ex-boyfriend. Taylor's ex-boyfriend was not a good person. Wasn't, right? He'd been busted multiple times on drug charges. I believe Breonna Taylor had also been charged for drug-related instances because they were kind of slinging it together, right? I could be a little bit wrong on that, but I know she had her own issues with that kind of stuff. And yes, they supposedly, according to the neighbors, the police did announce themselves. But once again, what time of day was it? Were they both in jail? I mean, were they both in bed? And did they announce themselves and immediately break down the door and bust in? Right? Now, I do find it funny that Breonna Taylor passed away and she was supposedly in bed. Right? She was supposedly killed in her bed. And her boyfriend was in the hallway shooting at police. However, they killed her in the bedroom, which I would imagine would be behind him, and he lived. So I forget who it was, but somebody said that possibly he used her as a human shield. I'd be interested in that. Arizona has been 3 hours behind VA. Fuck it. Pre-dawn says, fuck it. I'm out of the contest. I'm getting in the car to drive home for the next couple hours, but we'll be listening. Well, you can still be in the contest, but because I will announce the code words as well. You're just going to have to remember them. They're not that hard. Guns Coast to Coast. Quite a few questionable people in here. Okay. Hey, man.
I think he meant himself.
Oh, did you mean yourself, Guns Coast? I don't care, man. I welcome everybody. Everybody can be entitled to their own opinion. You can be a Biden supporter. You can be a blue versus red supporter, I don't mind. Maybe, you know, how do you change minds and influence people? You have to be okay with talking to people that disagree with you. If I was just talking to people who agree with me all the time, oh man, that's no way to do it. I learn stuff from people that disagree with me. I've learned a few things, right? When I first got into this whole freedom movement, I didn't agree with the 9/11 truth, right? I didn't agree with the architects for 9/11. But I listen, I talk, and sometimes I bring stuff up to people, and sometimes people bring up stuff to me, and so that's how minds are changed. Predon says, Stinger, I have a non-related question. How do you clean your suppressor baffles? It takes me hours to clean it. Are you cleaning your rifle suppressor? Because I don't clean my suppressor. It cleans itself. Go get my pistol, would you? Walter Davis, if you can remember any of the code words, you can still get in the entries once you can remember. I'm questionable with a YouTube channel. I'm questionable with a YouTube channel?
He's calling himself questionable.
Oh, okay. A sonic bath is only easy way. That's if your suppressor comes apart. Mine does, but not the baffles don't come apart. It's welded. Armed Archangel says, Pre-Dawn, try a deep bowl of solvent and can of air works for me. Yeah, I've heard about the sonic cleaner, right? The sonic cleaner is a big way a lot of people do it, especially the 22s. I know a suppressor for 22 is really bad. Little guns questionable. I voted for Ron Paul. What's up, QC Hemp? Boy, that's been a minute. Y'all see my pistol? All right, so let's see. Yeah, it's been a minute, QC. You voted for Dr. Paul twice. Yeah, I hope he's doing okay still. My pistol suppressor sucks. Yeah, I'm guessing you have an actual pistol suppressor for like 45 or something like that, right? This is a 30 cal can. This is a Vox S from Energetic Armament. The back does come off where you can put a quick disconnect thing, which I don't have. I have the direct thread because the quick disconnect thing, I didn't have a brake that I wanted to put on it because my rail is inset. See how the barrel is inside the rail? Just because I like that look, right? So having a brake on that, I don't know, maybe. But it makes it longer. The good thing about it, though, is it doesn't come unscrewed. Like when I've shot this so far, it unthreads itself. But the baffles are welded. Oops, I went my mic. You can see the lines right here. These are the baffles. They're welded. The front cap does come off so that you can change the wipe. The wipe helps avoid the first round pop. If you're not into suppressors, you might not know that. I thought QC 420 dropped off the face of the earth, right? But the lead buildup is bad on your pistol suppressor. So, difference between a rifle suppressor and a pistol suppressor. I don't get leading in my suppressor or anything else because it blows itself out. It's going so fast, the bullet, I guess. I don't know. This is what I've been told by the guy I bought the suppressor from and from the company itself and from the research that I did because I wanted this suppressor, right? This was the suppressor that I thought was the best made and one of the quietest, not the quietest, but one of the quietest for 300 blackout. So I did a lot of research on it. And the research that I found is that because it's a rifle suppressor, it's a 30 cal can, it cleans itself every time a round goes through. Kind of shakes it all off, I guess, and blows out the debris. Let's see. I thought QC... Okay. Ron Paul won Iowa at the convention. Well, yeah, they don't want Ron Paul to win. Just like they don't want Bernie Sanders to win because they can't control him. Because, well, they tried to do that with Trump, remember? I'm surprised they didn't, to be honest. I am surprised. Instead of deplorable, we can call be questionable. There you go. Mine is a dedicated pistol suppressor. That's cool, Stinger. I have a question about that suppressor. I called the company and the owner answered. Yeah, the owner of the company answered. It's pretty cool. Energetic armament. Yep. We'll be buying another one of those probably, since I already have a trust for Riddle Girl's suppressor as well, because she has a pistol. It's a pretty unicorn rainbow. Yeah, go ahead, bring it out. You want to show it off, Riddle?
It's together except for a couple of
Yeah, there's only a couple pieces left on it. Mine can be used for 300 black subs. Wow. Interesting. So you have like a 9, is it a 9 mil can or is it a 45 can? I'm very curious now. And what's the name of the manufacturer in the can? I know I've seen it, but I don't remember. So that's why I asked.
Just make sure you cover up the serial number.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one actually has a serial number on it, right? So this is Riddle Girl's pistol.
Isn't it pretty? So pretty.
So we have a rainbow bolt carrier. It's also skeletonized. This is not an F1 Firearms upper. Mine is.
That is a holy roller.
Yeah, that's a holy roller. And then you have the rainbowed barrel and gas block. And also castle nut and end plate, right? That's kind of cool. And what's really cool is we have a safe space. Right now it's on safe space. And then we got triggered. And then we got full lib turd, right?
Yeah.
And yes, it does go all 3 different directions, right? Because this is a binary trigger,
Yes,
right?
Binary.
So she's got it's the Spikes Tactical Rainbow lower. I'm covering it, or was I not?
It's right here.
Is it?
Underneath the uniform.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. It's also got a ambidextrous mag release. I never even have had one of those. So yeah, it's all pretty.
It identifies as a toaster.
Yeah, it identifies as a toaster. It hasn't been shot yet. We need to go shoot it. She needs sights still. I want to get her sights, and I'd like to get some sort of muzzle device, like a small little CAC or CAC Industries flash cam. Okay. My 45. It's a 45, manufactured by Mac Brothers. Huh. I've never heard of that company. That might be why you're having issues with it. Badass Riddle Girl, sold by Silencer Central. What gender does that BCG identify as? You know what's funny is she was gonna do a ultra cheap build. You know,
Nope.
remember that? Yeah. And this is the great thing, because my build, my pistol, was supposed to be under $500. The reason why I built this in the first place was because of this rail. This is the rail that was on my original AR, and I had it sitting around. I paid like $200 for it at the time, and I didn't want to use it anymore because my original build is a piston system AR. It's a Osprey piston system, and I had this rail in it, and it uses an aluminum barrel nut, and the piston system beat that aluminum barrel nut out of shape so bad it seized up the weapon. Right, so I can't use this anymore. I needed a new rail that used a steel barrel nut, so I had to change it out, and I did, and now it works fine. But I had this rail laying around, and I was like, well, I can't let that go to waste, right? So I'll build an ultra cheap, $500 build of a 300 blackout, and it'll be a pistol. But then I found out. Oops, sorry about that. Then I found out about F1 Firearms, and that went to shit real quick. And the lower was a piece of aluminum as well, and it's not something that I had to do any kind of paperwork for, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's been interesting adventure, man. If you get another one, maybe try Energetic Armament. Sorry you're dealing. Yeah, they're not cheap, but they're not really expensive. I'd say they're middle of the road when it comes to suppressors. Like, I've heard good thing about Po' Boys. They're a $200, I believe, $200 suppressor. This one was, I think it was almost $1,000, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Titanium baffles, titanium tube. It's the quietest 45 suppressor in its class. Is that the one that you have? Wow. And you're having issues with it? Yeah, mine's made from something from the space shuttle. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it. The suppressor that I have, supposedly, all right, the material that it's made out of, when it's at 1700 degrees Fahrenheit, it's as strong as steel at room temp. So there you go. Mine were $1,200. All right. So y'all ready for the first code word? Got off on a whole tangent, right? So let's go ahead and reveal the first code word right now. The first code word is corn pop. CORPOP. And Roxy is not happy that the neighbors are close. Roxy, go on. Go bed. Go bed. Go on.
Roxy, go on. Go bed.
Go bed.
It's a girl.
So corn pop. The first code word is corn pop because supposedly that was the name of Joe Biden's supposed excuse me. Corn pop was supposed to be the person Joe Biden stood up against. He was a gang member back in the 60s, in 1962. Apparently in 1962, Joe Biden had an incident with a gangbanger whose name was Corn Pop.
He came at him with his other buddies that were armed with razor blades.
They were armed with razor blades.
They were going to get him.
That was the popcorn gang. But the code word is corn pop. So write that one down or remember it. And in the end of the evening, that'll be one entry of 5. All right. If everybody's got it, I'm going to go ahead and hide the code word and we won't speak of it anymore. Anybody that has that, though, and enters will have at least one entry. I want to sleep with all my nurses, OMG says. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're still in the hospital. Dang, dude. How you doing, by the way? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Hey, guns, please don't type that. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Later on, if I see people putting in chat the code words, you're automatically out, and I'm going to delete. Well, one of the mods, hopefully will find it because sometimes I'm preoccupied. But somebody, if any of my mods sees it, delete that comment immediately, and that person is just going to be out of the contest. You know what I mean? When do we email this? At the end of the night. At the end of the debate, I will ask for you guys to email all the code words, and then we will go ahead and do the drawing shortly thereafter, right? We'll give it, I'll do it. I'll actually ask for your emails right at the end. Then we'll have a little discussion about how the debates went. And then at the end of that, once, we've given everybody ample amount of time and we've got everybody's entries down, then we'll do the drawing. Quasar redacted something. Okay. When the police knocked on the door, they were both at the top of the stairs, OMG said. Yep, that could be. Shooter loop, yeah. One of the jurors in Breonna Taylor's case revealed that they were not given the option. Yeah, we already read all that. So I'm going to go to a different story now. Why is that coming up? I do not want that up. We still got about a half an hour before. And I'll give out another code word right at 6 o'clock, which is, 23 minutes away from now. So whatever that time is for you. And let's go ahead and see what else we have here. Casino executive charged with illegally funding cash into campaigns. Interesting. A top executive of an Indiana casino company that is building a new $400 million casino in Gary has been indicted on federal charges of illegally funneling campaign contributions to a former state lawmaker's unsuccessful congressional campaign, officials announced Tuesday. The federal indictment charges Spectacle Entertainment Vice President John Keeler and former Republican Senator Brent Waltz of Greenwood was taking part in a scheme to direct more than $25,000 in illegal corporate contributions through straw donors to Waltz's 2016 campaign. Republicans are no better than Democrats. Just because they agree with you on something. And here's the thing. Here's the reason why. Sometimes I'm okay with voting for a Democrat. And I'll tell you why. Because at least they're upfront and honest. I cannot stand a Republican. Let's take Crenshaw. I forget his first name. You guys know who I'm talking about. He's a military vet. He's in Texas. He's got an eye patch, right? He ran on how he was pro the Constitution, right? That's how he won. And then what does he do? He turns around and stabs us all in the back by trying to enact his own red flag law in Texas, saying that his red flag law is better than the Democrats' red flag law because it has protections. Excuse me? I don't think so. There's something to be said for voting for a party that will at least be upfront and honest. Hey, we want to tax you more. We want to give your money to people who aren't working, and we want to take all your guns away. Well, you know what? I believe them. However, I have to debate on whether I believe a Republican or not, right? This election for my local area, I have to decide whether I'm going to vote for Mark Kelly or, what's her name? McSally, right? McSally was appointed to the position, and not very many people like her because of the fact that she was pro-red flag law. And one of the reasons why I don't like President Trump that much is because he is also pro-red flag law. Now, I know he walked that back because it's an election year. Obviously, he's going to go back on what he said. Take the guns first, due process second. Oh, wait a minute. It's an election year. I didn't mean to say that. That's not exactly how I feel. Believe me, that's exactly how he feels. He just knows he was told that is not an answer that you should be giving, and you need to redact that, right? You need to go back and say, I was wrong. And that's what he did, right? Keeler was an executive of Centaur Gaming, which sold Indiana's 2 horse track casinos to Anderson and Shelbyville to Las Vegas-based Caesars Entertainment Corporation in a 2018 for $1.7 billion. He was part of the group that formed Spectacle to buy Gary Casino operation along Lake Michigan and lobbied state legislators last year to allow its move to a more lucrative on-land location. Messages seeking comment were left for Keeler at a phone number previously listed for Waltz, who was a state lawmaker for 12 years before giving up his seat for the congressional run. Indianapolis-based Spectacle said in a statement that Keeler has taken administrative leave. It is important to remember that Mr. Keeler presumed innocent of all charges, and a statement said. And that's the thing. Will anybody ever go to jail for anything? Are they ever going to prosecute any of this corruption? I mean, look at Ilhan Omar, right? And everything that Project Veritas is doing. Do you think anybody's going to go to jail? Do you think Ilhan Omar is going to get in trouble? I'm sure some people might go to jail, right? It's not going to be Ilhan Omar. She'll deny all of it, I'm sure. You think Hillary Clinton's going to go to jail? No. People that are connected and wealthy do not go to jail. Why Epstein went to jail? I don't know. That's a weird reason. There's a reason why he killed himself, though. All right. Wow, nobody's chatting. How many people? You can't stand McSally? Yeah, me neither. However, I don't want her. I really don't want the other guy to come in. I mean, although he's upfront and honest about taking your guns away, so I mean, there is that. It's one of those things I keep going back and forth with, right? I don't know what I think. Let's see. How are we doing on the debate? Oh, look at this. I guess Trump is getting in the area. All right. Still no sound on it, but we'll watch that for a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to check up on something real quick. Where is it? Oh, I can never remember this stuff. Here we go. We got 18 people watching. Only one on D Live. That's probably Riddle Girl.
Yep.
But don't forget, if we get booted off, we're going to go to D Live. And the contest is still on. So if you want to be entered, if that's the case, make sure you go over to D Live. Link in the descriptions below for that, for sure. All right. What can someone do with your serial number? Report it stolen and say that it was theirs, I guess. A lot of people don't care. I kind of do, so I try to cover mine. Usually. We condone all respectful conversations and disagreements except for disrespectful comments towards other users, mods, and owners of this channel. Be disrespectful and you will be removed. Armed Archangel, man, on fire.
Yeah, don't be playing around.
No, man, that's my top mod right there, other than Riddle Girl, right? Hell yeah. I ordered a flash can from Geek. LOL. I want to see if it's any good. Oh, I forget the name of the flash can that I had on mine until I got my suppressor. But it was an interesting flash can because it was two-sided. One was longer than the other. And so you could have it sticking out further or you could have it, set in further. And I liked it set in further. Already the suppressor sticks out quite a bit. I almost wish I had a 10-inch rail instead of a 9-inch rail. But I tell you what, finding 300 blackout nowadays, that's really hard. Luckily, I reload. And I do have some of the components so that I can make my own lead projectiles for it. But it's still a work in process. My rail has a steel nut. Yeah, awesome. I ordered flash can. Okay. Yeah, this one has an aluminum barrel nut, and the rifle, my first rifle that has the piston system now has the steel barrel nut. Yep, that's that time. It's getting late. Sun's going down. Your husband has steel nuts? I had to pull over and share this info I heard. In the mail-in ballots, if SpongeBob is written in, Biden gets 10 votes. I think this should be shared on HuffPost and CNN and etc. social medias.
That's great.
If SpongeBob does it, it's 10 votes automatic. Did Riddle get my mail from Minkso? I don't know, Riddle Girl.
Yes, I did. I got a few emails from people. Yes, I did get your emails, and so if you want to send them in now, that's okay. But if you wait and send them all the code words at once.
If you want to make it easier for Riddle Girl. Okay, it's easier if it's one email with all the code words. It just is. Because then she's got to go through and see each email that you sent her, right? So I'd appreciate it if you do that. I'm going to register a solvent trap from China. That's not a bad idea. That's a Form 1, and it's from what I've heard, it takes like a month to get that paperwork back and to get your license to make it a suppressor. That's not bad. I did not know that when I first got mine, right? And I probably wouldn't have done it anyway because at that point I was like, well, I'm already going to be on the list anyway, so might as well go for the one that I think is going to be really good quality. Plus, it's a 30 cal can, so I can put that on a 308. I can put that on a 300 Win Mag. I can put that on a 556 even, right? It won't be as good as a dedicated 556 can, but I can do anything 30 cal and below with that can, which is really cool. But the solvent traps are very interesting. I wouldn't mind having a couple just in case kind of situation, Because right now, everything's legal and on board. Which, if certain people get elected, might not be legal anymore. And they will have all of my information. TB9 says, okay, I'll wait. Well, I appreciate that, TB9. Hopefully you all have it written down and you're ready to go. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. All right. Now, what do you guys...
Hold down the fort a minute. I need to go to the restroom, so...
Okay, Riddle. Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome. And everybody else, too.
Yeah? Yeah, this is the time to have the bathroom break, right? Looks like people are coming in, getting ready. Is that Jeb Bush? Is that Jeb Bush? Who's that? I don't know who that is. Email just arrived. Thanks. You're welcome. Surprised they don't have any audio on this yet, though. At least I don't think they do. They probably don't. So what are you going to do with it if you win it? Is it going to just be a paperweight? Is it going to be a specific thing? Do you have the equipment to do what it takes to make it something that it's not right now? Luckily, I have the equipment to do that myself. I'm glad I got it when I did because it's kind of hard to get that right now. I would imagine. It's hard to get these pieces of aluminum as it is right now. And the one that I don't have, I have another one. I only have one other one, but that's okay because I don't have that many more builds that I want to do. The next build that I want to do though is a 308 AR-10. I do not have a lower for an AR-10. I need to do that. That one might be rough to get though. They put a central line in today, OMG says. It's like an medical central line or like electrical central line. So here are all the Republican rhinos. What do you guys' opinion on President Trump's pick for the SCOTUS? A lot of people were commenting in that video that I made about it that they wish that he had gotten somebody from Florida for the whole swing state thing. I don't know if he'll need it, to be honest. I think it's going to be a pretty big landslide for Trump, to be honest. If they can kind of keep the oh, there's a fluffy kitty. If they can keep the bad stuff down, I can't even think right now. They put a central line in today, 20 minutes. Yeah, it's getting close. Oh, froze.
This is the lucky fluffy debate kitty.
Okay. I mean, we're all here. We already know who we're going to vote for. I'm sure most people know who they're going to vote for, but at the same time, it's kind of like a show you just kind of want to watch. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see. I hate the autoplays. No, that's not what I wanted. All right. Disney is laying off 28,000 employees as pandemic hammers its theme parks. Interesting. We'll go ahead and peek on this one a little bit. Guests take a spin on Dumbo, the flying elephant at Magic Kingdom Park with unprecedented 2 Dumbos aloft. Guests get to their flights faster aboard one of the park's most iconic attractions. Connecting the 2 Dumbos is a new big top area, allows guests to immerse themselves in circus lore in a series of fun interactive experiences before a spin with their favorite circus elephants. The double Dumbos help anchor the storybook circus area in the new Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom Park. Disney is laying off 28,000 employees at its theme parks as the Rona pandemic hammers its theme park businesses. The layoffs will hit the company's parks, experiences, and products, the company said on Tuesday. Disney added that 67% of its employees laid off will be part-time workers. Well, that's a short story. Disney's in a lot of trouble anyway because they're super woke. They ruined Star Wars, right? I was even a Star Wars fan. The Mandalorian was okay, but I've heard that might be getting ruined this next season, right? So who knows? The 80% piece of aluminum is the grand prize in the contest. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Or it's the main prize, right? I would say it's the main prize. The other prize is these little round constitutional pieces that are dime-shaped. Vermin Supreme has my vote. Vermin. What's up, Quasar? How you doing? Have an AR-10, 80, and jig. Maybe some horse trading? Ooh, maybe. I don't know, man. Can I trust you? It's one of those things, right? You're always like, I don't know. Do you need a AR-15 version? Or what would you be interested in trading? You know what I mean? Yeah, I would be interested in that, to be honest. I have no other parts for it, right? But at the same time, I kind of want to get one in the book, or, get one just in case. I do want to do it eventually. Can you imagine going on the Dumbo ride? There's only 2 elephants aloft, or you can only be on 2 elephants. The lines already at Disneyland were hella long, right?
And now they're like laying off all those people.
Well, there might be less people actually at the park, though, so there is that.
Yeah. It's sad, in a way.
It is. Well, we got somebody in front of a podium with a microphone.
She doing the testing?
I don't know. Yep. We still got another 15-ish minutes.
Well, they usually have somebody go out there and say something to test the mic.
Right. Well, she's thanking people right now, I think. I vote for anyone other than Trump is a vote for Biden. Please vote for freedom. Trump is not the best, but he's our only choice. If you think that we can vote and change the course of where this country is going, I would say I would agree. And I don't think it's going to change it, but I do think it'll slow it down. If you want the country to go to crap faster, if you want the economy to crash faster, if you want our rights to erode and become a socialist government faster, then yes, vote for Biden. If you want to slow that down, Trump is probably our best bet to slow it down. But it's still going to happen. It's 100%. At least parts of it is still going to happen. Like the economy, you cannot be printing trillions and trillions of dollars and not expect at some point the world is going to be like, no, we're not using the dollar anymore. Our currency is backed by nothing but a hope and a prayer. Yeah, Quasar.
By the way, if she's saying something or they're saying something, I can't hear it.
Oh, yeah, you guys can't hear this. All right, sorry about that. Thank you very much, Real Girl, for sharing. I forgot to change the settings back from last night. Hold on a second. Maybe I have to do it this way. Advanced auto properties. Yeah. All right.
Desktop audio.
And thanks so much
That should do it.
to United Airlines. It stepped up to the plate.
All right.
And graciously
Sorry about that. Thank you,
provided
Riddle Girl,
the
for
fly.
letting me know. Hopefully everybody has audio
From
now.
one site to another
I'll let you
throughout
know.
the rest of the term.
What do you guys think about
These
Trump
debates. So we
approving
have a
a
great shout-out
rail
for United
line from
Airlines.
Alaska to Alberta?
Anheuser-Busch
That's
has been
interesting.
with us for 28
Somebody
years,
standing there behind
as
the
has the
monitor or
firm of
whatever
Crowell
it is,
and
like
Mooring
somebody's,
in Washington,
tag
D.C.
on their shirt, and it looked kind of creepy.
Also,
that they
special
were
thanks to some people in
standing in
the network
dark shadows
business,
back there.
in the journalism business. Pentagram, CBS
Ah,
News
Tree of
Radio,
Liberty
Entercom
needs to be- yeah, I know.
Communications.
That would be a
the
hard
hotel
sell.
behind
Tommy
us,
Boy, can Stinger trust
The
me?
Intercontinental is a tremendously large room, which is
Mr.
called the
TV9
Media
and Bry
Finance
goes,
Center.
well, you know how it is.
There's
You
only,
should know
I
how
guess,
it is.
is
I think
about
I
700
could
people
trust.
in
You got to
there.
tell me what you're
We
interested in, though,
usually
bro.
have 3,000 to 5,000.
Armed Archangel, hey, PS, Riddle
in the
Girl,
media
did you
filing
catch
center.
the video of the Democrats
so
on
we've
mic admitting
to
that
cut
the
down,
masks
have
are
to-
for political
you
theory?
can look around this
Theater.
audience. We normally have
No, I did
900
not. You have a
people
wrench.
in the
Can you
audience.
share a link?
You people are very fortunate.
Yeah, I'm
to
a
have the
pushover.
opportunity
No, I
to
don't
be here
think I
tonight.
did. Maybe PS
the
did.
National
No.
Press
Hey,
Club
people
in
that does
Washington,
not
D.C.
control their
tonight
pocketbook
is hosting a media
does not
filing
control
center
their
for those
government.
journalists in Washington.
Was it? Who was it? It was like the Fed
So
chair
we're
or
very,
something
very
that says,
thankful
"Give
for that.
me access to the money
Many of
system,
you,
and I don't
see
care who
faces
makes
here
the
have known
laws."
and been in the audience before.
Right? Anything they're saying is
There
probably a
will
lie,
be, in the
anyways. That's
estimate
true.
Of most
I can
experts,
hear them now.
Good.
close to 120 million people.
Awesome.
watching
Well, they're not
this
saying anything
debate
interesting
this
though.
It'll be on their TV sets. It'll be on their computers. It'll be on their iPads. It'll be on
So
their
I'm
iPhones.
gonna go ahead and mute him for a little bit. Let's see. Here we go. Mutes it for me too. Okay, let me see. Okay, you got the link. Good. Hold on. We're gonna look at this real quick. Copy. Let's go over here. That wasn't it. Why didn't that copy? Copy link location, please. Oh, come on now. Apparently I did something in settings, and this is always now something I have to do every once in a while. I think that's it. All right.
It's doing it to me all the time too. I think it's our VPN.
All right, hold on.
I'm going to take my mask off when I speak. So.
I will as well. I'm waiting so that we can do a little political theater.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting. I'm going to take my mask off when I speak, so Wendy Ullman, I will as well. I'm just waiting so that we can do a little political theater. September 29th. Well, that was today. Wow.
So Wendy, I'm going to take my mask off when I speak. So.
I will as well. I'm waiting so that we can do a little political theater.
Okay.
So that it's on camera.
Well, Tucker Carlson also busted Nancy Pelosi at the airport, I guess. Or no, not Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, right? Busted Dianne Feinstein at the airport recently on that. All right, I have something for everyone. Do you now? Hello, I hate that thing. Dianne Feinstein? Yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, why don't we rise up as a nation is beyond me. Because a lot of people are comfortable. See, there's extreme right and there's extreme left. I would consider myself kind of extreme right because of the fact that my favorite presidents is Washington and Adams. Right? And after that, I think most of them are tyrants, one way or another. You have the job to uphold and protect the Constitution of the United States. And then you go against the Constitution of the United States, you're a traitor, and you should be charged with treason. And I think most presidents need to be charged with treason, including Abraham Lincoln. So yeah, I would consider myself probably far right. But at the same time, I don't believe in anybody being not the same as somebody else, right? I'm all for equality. So I don't know what you would consider that. I am a very strict constitutionalist. I believe the Constitution means what it says and says what it means, and that's exactly how we should be following it, right? I think that states should be their own little country, and the federal government shouldn't be involved in any of the state's businesses, including the speed limit. Remember, that's how this whole thing got started in the first place, because the federal government wanted to mandate 55-mile-an-hour zones all across the United States, but they couldn't, so they had to threaten the states with withholding monies. You know, if you don't limit it to 55 miles an hour, then we're going to withhold monies. And ever since then, maybe even before then, states' rights have really not been very much in play. I mean, we talk about states' rights, but do they really have it? Anyway, that's just one part of it, right? The mask is ridiculous. They are. You are a little turd, OMG. Divide 2020 by 666. Take the answer and text yes, the first 5 numbers. Put the first 5 numbers from the answer to the recipient. Let us know what you get.
I would not recommend that.
No?
No, it's going to sign you up for the Biden-Harris 2020 jump to your text messages.
Oh, if you text that number?
Yeah, because Biden was like, hey, text yes to 30330 if you if we can count on your vote.
So OMG's being a little bit of a troll. Hey man, you know you can improve your stream if you hit F4. Is it F4, I think? Shift F4? Yeah. I wonder if they're saying anything important.
of the Health Education Campus at Cleveland Clinic. We share this campus with our partners from Case
No, not
Western
really.
Reserve University.
Okay. Jackson was badass too. Yes, I'll give you that. I would say most of the founding fathers I'd be okay with, right? Most of the founding fathers. I think Pee Wee Herman should have ran and won. I mean, yeah, Bill Clinton can get away with it. Why can't Pee Wee? All right. I like Washington. Yeah. Have you ever I can't believe it's on HBO. We have a friend who had an HBO subscription and allowed us to use the HBO their HBO subscription. And I learned about this from the Patriot Nurse. The Patriot Nurse had done a video about movies that she recommended watching during the whole quarantine, right? And a few of them I'd never seen before. I'd never seen The Patriot with Mel Gibson, which I'm glad to say I have now. And in fact, I own it now, right? I think I own it. I own it.
What?
The Patriot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have that movie. I've watched it now. And the other one was on HBO, and I'm surprised it's still even on there, is Adams. It's all about John Adams and his life and the founding of this nation and his being the first vice president and the second president, right? Very, very good miniseries. I thoroughly enjoyed that miniseries. And it is a miniseries, so watch that if you're interested in the country's founding and stuff. And there was another one about Washington. I forget the name of it, though. And then there was one of Gods and Generals, which apparently a lot of people deem as racist and a love letter to the Confederacy. The thing is everybody had their reasons back in the day. I don't know. I think if a state decides that it does no longer want to be part of the Union, and this goes for right now, in today's age, if Trump wins, and the states, California, Oregon, and Washington decide that they want to secede, I want to give them a good send-off. Like, more than what, have a good one, right? We'll even trade with you. But you have to give us something in return of equal value, right? We're not going to just give you handouts, obviously, but we'll let you go in peace. I think we should let them go in peace. And I think back in the day, they should have let them go in peace. And that's why I believe that Lincoln was a tyrant. I'm glad he freed the slaves. That's not the reason that they went to war with the South, though, right? The reason they went to the war with the South is because they couldn't survive without the South. And that's why. John Adams was the man. He was. Evening all. What's up, Irish? How you doing? You missed the first code word, dude. Once again, down below, we have it scrolling what we're giving away this evening. Let me remind you, there are 5 code words. We've already revealed the first one. There's 4 more throughout the night. In fact, we're going to be posting one real soon. The second one, you will get an entry into the piece of aluminum metal paperweight for each one that you get correct. And please hold your emails until after the debate. And we're also giving away constitutional pieces of round metal. Giveaway, yep, okay. Sup, Irish. Each code is 1 entry. Okay, thank you, Riddle Girl. Adams' Federalist writings are awesome. I need to read them. I don't think I've read them. All right, let's get ready for the second code word. Are you guys ready for the second code word? Here we go. I'm going to turn up the volume for that.
Housekeeping bit.
Actually, no, I'm going to turn that off because I don't want anybody to miss the code word, right? So the next code word is Diet Coke. Diet Coke is President Trump's favorite drink of choice, supposedly, reportedly. So the second code word, or I guess code phrase, is Diet Coke. Write that down, and we will start listening to this now. And for some reason, I'm not getting any audio now. Why am I not getting any audio? My headphones are still on.
What setting did you change to mute them?
I just muted it. That was the only thing I changed. So let me,
Who don't.
yeah. See, here's the
Listen
sound right here.
respectfully.
So for some reason, there is no sound. Maybe his mic is not on. I don't know.
For the audience,
See?
as
Sound
soon
is
as this
even there.
debate is over, if you will please remain seated, you will be shown which way to exit.
I don't know. Diet Coke. Write that down. That's your entry. That's another entry into the thing. All right, we're going to hide it. Nobody say it in the chat. If you say it in the chat, your message will be deleted and you will be removed from the contest. Each code word that you email at the end of the night will be going as one entry for the final prize. Okay? Good. All right. Please do not type code words in the chat. That's right. No problem, Irish. I appreciate you being here, bro. I really do. Thank you very much for joining. Boy.
Something.
Did you? Well, I rewound it there for a second, too.
Well, it was just for a second, and then there was no more.
Yeah, that was...
There's the audience, and then, I don't know.
Yeah, I rewound it a little bit. Hold on. I'm looking for the debate. Let's see if it's on here.
Issues hit, and I think they will hit. I think there will be
CNN.
questions raised about Hunter. I think we're going to.
How about this one?
Line tonight for our country.
Okay, they're all yapping. But the audio is working, so that's a good thing. And then here, this is the one that we were watching. Yeah, this still has no audio. All right, no problem. But we already have that open, so we'll just keep this one. Oop, no, this one. Thank you. There we go. Please, all right. Got an ice cold homebrew amber ale. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not really good with all the different versions of beer. Like, there's a couple that I like okay, but not much. Oh, by the way, I kind of want to have a little bit of a drinking game. Like if we hear Biden say, "Come on, man," or "I'm the guy." Apparently, if you didn't know, Biden, he's the guy for like most everything that's ever happened in this country. He's the reason for everything supposedly good. I don't know why this isn't going completely full screen on me here.
Listing 10 employees.
All right, there we go. Yeah, now it went away. Good. What's up, Broken Patriot? How you doing? You already missed 2 code words, but you still have a chance. There's 3 more code words, right? This is an hour and a half long, so that means this should be over 7:30-ish my time. So we'll just have to remember that's probably every 30 minutes-ish, right? Yeah, 30 minutes. So we'll give it away. We'll not give it away. We'll reveal the code words at the half-hour marks. So 6:30 will be the next code word, 7, and 7:30 will be the last one. Like the seltzers, a little smoke instead. What is that referencing? Oh, beer, yuck. Okay, I like seltzers, a little smoke. Yeah, I don't know. There's some beers that I do enjoy. However, there are a lot of beers that I'm like, But the more drunk I am, the easier the beer goes down. However, I am now a cheap date. Guns Coast to Coast wants to use Malarkey. Malarkey's a good one. I don't know if it's going to come into this debate. And Come On Man might not either. I have a feeling I'm the Guy is going to come up quite a bit. All right? And I don't have anything good to drink. And if I did, I'd have to be very careful. And it'd have to be a sip. Because now after my surgery, I can get blacked out apparently very easily. So I haven't tried drinking alcohol since I've had the operation, though, so I don't know. We'll see. You just brewed a 5-gallon batch of pumpkin ale. Wow, right on. Today I had my first caffeine in a while. It was a Starbucks vanilla latte iced.
It wasn't a latte. It was just an iced coffee.
Iced coffee. Okay.
Vanilla sugar-free syrup.
Yeah. Vanilla sugar-free syrup iced coffee. It was bitter, but it was good, and I enjoyed it, and the caffeine was nice. Are you going live later tonight now? This is the chat. We'll be doing this for a while. Let's see. This chat will end. Let's see. The debate ends around 7:30, 7:45, maybe 8 o'clock my time. So I would imagine we'll be done probably 8:30, 9 o'clock this evening. That'll be when we sign off, right? Because once the debate is over, we're going to then ask you all to email the email address that we provided with the answers to the code words. And also, we're going to have you email the answer to the question, because you get an entry for each code word that you enter, right? However, there's going to be a separate question in order to win one of these, and it's going to go to the first 11 people that answer it correctly through email. And I'll give you that question at the end of the debate. Looks like we're starting up. I like buds, drinking them or smoking them. Buds?
Yeah, Gerald is all about the buds.
Good evening from the Health
How do you
Education
drink them?
campus of Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland
Oh, okay,
Clinic.
Budweiser or Bud.
I'm Chris Wallace of Fox News, and I welcome you to the first of the 2020 presidential debates between President
You know the
Donald
thing
J.
would be a
Trump
good one?
and former Vice President Joe
The
Biden.
thing?
This debate is sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates. The commission has designed the format.
All right, so we got
6
malarkey.
15-minute segments
I'm that guy.
with
Or I'm
2-minute
the guy.
answers from each candidate
We
to the
got
first question.
I already
and
said
open
malarkey.
discussion for the
That
rest
thing.
of each segment.
And what was the other
Both
one?
campaigns have agreed to these rules. For the record, I decided the topics and the questions
I hate
in
this
each
guy, man.
topic.
Your father was
I
a
can
good
assure
dude,
you,
but
none
man,
of the
you were a
questions has
piece
been
of shit.
shared with the commission or the two candidates.
We
This
could do
debate is
Trump
being
ones. You want to do
conducted
Trump
under
ones?
health and safety protocols designed by the Cleveland Clinic.
Huge.
Which is serving as the health security advisor to the commission for all 4 debates. As a precaution, both campaigns have agreed the candidates will not shake hands
Terrific.
at the beginning of tonight's debate. The audience here in the hall has promised to
What do you guys
remain
think? Any
silent.
Trump,
no cheers,
drinking
no
games you can
boos
think
or
of?
other interruptions, so we, and more importantly you, can focus on what the candidates have to say.
Did I miss the second
No
code
noise
word? Yes,
except
you did.
Right now, as we welcome the Republican
It's all right,
nominee,
there's still 3
President
more.
Trump, and the Democratic nominee, Vice President Biden.
We're going to be doing it every half an hour. So 6:30, 7, 7:30. Well, he looks awake. That's good.
How you doing, man? How are you? I'm awake.
Man. That's disrespectful, man.
Gentlemen, a lot of people have been waiting for this night, so let's
Mm-hmm.
get going. Our first subject is the Supreme Court. President Trump, you nominated Amy Coney Barrett over the weekend to succeed the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the court.
What do you
say
guys
the
think of his
Constitution
nomination?
is clear about your
Do you like her?
obligation
I kinda
and the
like her.
Senate's to consider a nominee to the court. Vice President Biden, you say that this is an effort by the president and Republicans to jam through an appointment and what you call an abuse of power. My first question to both of you tonight: why are you right in the argument you make and your opponent wrong? And where do you think a Justice Barrett would take the court? President Trump, in this first segment, you go first. 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chris. I will tell you very simply, we won the election. Elections have consequences.
There you go.
We have the Senate, we have the White House, and we have a phenomenal nominee, respected by all, top academic, good in every way, In fact, some of her biggest endorsers are very liberal people from Notre Dame and other places. So I think she's going to be fantastic. We have plenty of time, even if we did it after the election itself. I have a lot of time after the election, as you know. So I think that she will be outstanding. She's going to be as good as anybody that has served on that court. We really feel that. We have a professor at Notre Dame, highly respected by all, said she's the single greatest student he's ever had. He's been a professor for a long time at a great school. And we won the election, and therefore we have the right to choose her. And very few people,
I think a lot of people
would
won't.
say otherwise. And by the way,
a lot of
the
Democrats will have a
they
hard
wouldn't
time
even think
going
about
against
not
her.
doing it. If they had, the only difference is they try and do it faster. There's no way they would give it up. They had Merrick Garland, but the problem is they didn't have the election, so
Yeah,
they
they
were
didn't have the
stopped.
Senate.
And probably that would happen in reverse also. Definitely would happen in reverse.
Yeah.
So we won the
If
election.
the Dems
and
have
we
the
have
Senate
right
right
to
now,
do it.
you better believe it.
President Trump, thank you. Same question to you, Vice President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
Well, first of all, thank you for doing this and looking forward to this, Mr. President.
Thank you, Joe.
Whoa. Wow, did anybody see that coming?
Have a right to have a say in who the Supreme Court nominee is. And that say occurs when they vote for a United States senators and when they vote for the President of the United States. They're not going to get that chance now because we're in the middle of an election already. The election has already started. Tens of thousands of people have already voted. And so the thing that should happen is we should wait. We should wait and see what the outcome of this election is, because that's the only way the American people get to express their view is by who they elect as president and who they elect as vice president. Now, what's at
Local
stake here is
politics
the president's
matter,
made
too.
it clear he wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. He's been running on that, he ran on that, and he's been governing on that. He's in the Supreme Court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which will strip 20 million people
Of
from
unaffordable
having
health care.
health insurance
Yes.
now.
If it goes
The
into
most
force.
expensive
health care I've ever had in my
the
life.
Justice, and I have nothing, I'm not opposed to the justice. She seems like a very fine person. But she's written before she went on the bench, which is her right, that she thinks that the Affordable Care Act is not constitutional.
It's not.
The other thing that's on the court, and if
least the
it's
mandate.
struck down, what happens? Women's rights are fundamentally changed. Once again, a woman could be pay more money because she has a pre-existing condition of pregnancy. They were able to charge a woman more for the same exact procedure a man gets. And
Bull
that
crap.
ended when we, in fact, passed the Affordable Care Act. And there's 100 million people who have pre-existing conditions, and they'll be taken away as well. Those pre-existing conditions, the insurance companies are going to love this. And so it's just not appropriate to do this before this election. If he wins the election and the Senate is Democrat or Republican, then he goes forward. If not, we should wait until February.
If the
There are
Senate is
100
Republican
million
and he
people with
wins
pre-existing
re-election?
conditions. As far as the say is concerned, the people already had their say.
Yep.
Okay. Justice Ginsburg said very powerfully, very strongly, at some point,
Ooh.
10 years ago or so, she said a president and the Senate is elected for a period of time, but a president's elected for 4 years. We're not elected for 3 years. I'm not elected for 3 years. So we have the Senate, we have a president.
He's elected to the next
During
election.
that period of time, we have an opening. I'm not elected for 3 years. I'm elected for 4 years.
The
And the
election's
100
already
million
started.
people, Joe, the 100 million people is totally wrong. I don't know where you got that number. The bigger problem that you have is that you're going to extinguish 180 million people with their private health care that they're very
That's
happy
simply
with.
not true.
Well, you're certainly going to socialist. You're going to socialist medicine.
We're now into, gentlemen, we're now into open discussion.
Open discussion.
Open discussion. Yes, I agree. Go ahead, Vice President.
Number
Biden.
one, he knows that what I proposed. What I proposed is that we expand Obamacare and we increase it. We do not wipe any. And one of the big debates we had with 23 of my colleagues trying to win the nomination that I won were saying that Biden wanted to allow people to have private insurance still. They can. They do. They will under my proposal.
It's not what you've said,
But
and it's not what
that
your
is-
party has said.
that is simply
Your party
a lie.
doesn't say it. Your
That
party
is
wants to
simple.
go socialist
My
medicine
party is
and
me.
socialist
Right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to
Democratic
dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
Not according
Democratic
to
Party
Harris.
is what I, in fact, approved of. What I approved of. Now, here's the deal. The deal is that it's going to wipe out pre-existing conditions. And by the way, the 200,000 people that have died on his watch, how many of those
200 million
have
people?
survived?
Did he just say
Well, there's
200
7
million
million
people?
people that contracted COVID. What does it mean for them going forward if you strike down the Affordable Care Act?
200
Joe,
million
you've
people.
had
That would be like
308,000 military people dying because you couldn't provide them proper health care in the military. So don't tell me
I'm
about
happy
this.
to talk about
And
this.
if you were here,
Look,
it
here's
wouldn't
the
be
deal.
200, it would be 2 million people because you were very late on the draw. You
Late
didn't
on
want
the
me to
draw.
ban China, which was heavily infected. You didn't want me to ban
All right, gentlemen,
Europe, which
no,
was heavily
Mr.
infected.
President,
You would have
Mr.
been much
President,
later, Joe.
Mr. President,
Much later.
Mr. President.
You're talking about 2 million people.
You're
Mr.
not gonna be able to
President, as
shut
the
him up.
moderator, We are going to
Chris,
talk about
shut your
COVID
mouth.
in the next segment, but go ahead.
Let
I
me
was not asking
finish.
anyone to give me
point
the
is
words.
that
I just wanted
the
to know
president
if I
also
missed the second one.
is
Yeah, you missed
opposed
it.
to Roe v. Wade. That's on the ballot as well.
We've already
in the
done 2
court,
code
in the
words.
court, and so that's also at stake right now. And so the election is already
You don't know it's on the
begun.
ballot. Why is it on the ballot?
Because
Why is it
you
on the
said
ballot? It's not
you're-
on the ballot.
It's on the ballot in the
I
court.
don't think so.
In the court. Well,
There's nothing happening there.
Donald, would you
And
just
you don't
be quiet
know
for a
her
minute?
view on Roe v. Wade. You
I
don't
don't
know her
know.
view.
Well, all right. Let's talk. We got a lot to unpack here, gentlemen. We got a lot of time. So,
Gloves are coming
on
off.
health care, and then we'll come back to Roe v. Wade.
All right.
Mr. President, the Supreme Court will hear a case a week after the election in which the Trump administration, along with 18 state attorneys general, are seeking to overturn
That's right.
Obamacare, to end Obamacare.
Good.
You have spent the last...
Because they want to give good health care.
If I may ask my question, sir.
Good health care.
Over the last 4 years, you have promised to repeal and replace Obamacare, but you have never in these 4 years come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan
Yes,
to
I have.
replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well, I'll
I
give
got
you an
rid of the individual
when I finish,
mandate.
I'm going to give you an
Excuse
opportunity.
me. I got rid of the individual mandate, which was a
That is
big
not a
chunk of
comprehensive
That
plan.
is absolutely a big thing. That was the
I-
worst
I
part of
didn't ask
Obamacare.
it, sir.
Chris,
You're
that was the
debating him,
worst
not
part of
me.
Obamacare.
Let me ask my
Well,
question.
I'll ask Joe.
The
The individual mandate was the most unpopular aspect of Obamacare. I
And
got rid of it.
unconstitutional,
And
too.
we will protect people
President,
with
I'm the
pre-existing
moderator of this
conditions.
debate.
he was gonna
and
say
I would
20
like you to
million,
let
but
me
got
ask
corrected
my
to
question,
200,000.
And then you can answer your
ahead.
question.
Numbers are
You,
still not
in the
as
course
strong.
of these 4 years, have never come up with a comprehensive plan to replace Obamacare. And just this last Thursday, you signed a largely symbolic executive order to protect people with pre-existing conditions 5 days before this debate. So my question, sir, is what is the Trump health care plan?
Fine. Well, first of all, I guess I'm debating you, not him, but that's okay. I'm not surprised. Let me just tell you something, that there's nothing symbolic. I'm cutting drug prices. I'm going with favored nations, which no president has the courage to do because you're going against Big Pharma.
Yep.
Drug prices will be coming down 80 or 90%. You could have done it during your 47-year period in government, but you didn't do it. Nobody's done it. So we're cutting health care.
What about
All of the
pre-existing
things that
conditions?
we've done,
He has not cut
insulin. I
healthcare.
give you an example, insulin. It was destroying families, destroying people. The cost.
Insulin
I'm
is
getting
not
it for
cheap.
so cheap.
I know.
It's like water. You want to know the truth.
Luckily, I don't
So
have to take
cheap.
it anymore.
Take a look at all of the drugs what we're doing, prescription drug prices. We're going to allow our governors now to go to other countries to buy drugs because
When in
they
fact-
pay just a tiny fraction.
As I say,
of
this
what
is
we do.
open discussion.
No,
Let
but
me
this
ask
is
you about,
big.
this
This
you'll be
is
happy,
big stuff.
sir. You'll be happy. I'm about to pick up on one of your points to ask the vice president, which is he points out that you would like to add a public option to Obamacare. And
Yes.
the argument that he makes and other Republicans make is that that is going to end private insurance.
It is
and
not.
well, if I
sorry.
can ask you the question,
Bullshit.
it will
Not
end.
what your party says, by the way.
It will end private insurance and create a
is
government
true.
takeover of health care.
It does not. It's only for those people who are so poor they qualify for Medicaid. They can get that free in most states, except governors who want to deny people who are poor Medicaid. Anyone who qualifies for Medicare would, Medicaid would automatically be enrolled
47 years in
the
government.
public
Look what he's
option.
accomplished in
The
47
vast majority
years.
of the American
Biden,
people would still
and then look what
not
Trump has
be
done in 3.
in that option. Number one.
Joe, you
Number
agreed
two.
with Bernie
Number-
Sanders, who's
I
far
did-
left, on the manifesto,
When
we
you-
call it.
when
And that
manifest-
gives you socialized medicine.
Look, hey,
drug
I'm
prices
not
come down.
going to
You didn't
listen
agree?
to him. The fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I
I'm
beat
the
him
guy.
a whole hell of a lot. I'm
Not by
here
much.
standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left
Well,
2 days
I tell
early.
you-
You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to
on
do
Super
is hurt.
Tuesday. You got
Look,
very lucky.
here's the deal. I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well. And tonight I'm going to
With
make
what?
sure because
With what?
here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just
agreed.
want to
Hey,
make sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
Oh.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be surprised.
You pick
You'd be surprised.
the
Go ahead,
wrong
Joe.
guy,
Go,
the wrong
Joe,
night at
go.
the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
Let
Now you're
him-
disavowing it.
There is no manifesto, number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan
folks,
that's absolutely
folks,
agreed
do you have
to,
any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this clown's
socialized,
doing?
They call it
Mr.
Do you have any
President.
do?
socialized medicine.
Mr.
Well,
President.
I tell you what, he is not
prices are a
for
big savings.
any help for people
I grow my own
needing
pot. It's a lot
healthcare.
cheaper than that way. Yeah, I know, right?
Because he, in fact, already has cost 10 million people their health care that they had from their employers because of his recession. Number one. Number two, there are 20 million people getting health care through Obamacare now that he wants to take it away. He won't ever look you in the eye and say that's what he wants to do. Take it away.
No, I want to give them better health care at a much lower price because
and by
Obamacare
the way, he doesn't
is
know
no
how.
good.
He doesn't know how
I've
to do
already
that.
fixed it.
He has never
I've
offered
already
a
fixed
plan.
it to an extent.
He has never
Obamacare,
done a
as you
single
might
thing.
know, but probably don't. Obamacare
Gentlemen, you realize
is no
if you're
good,
both
Joe.
speaking at the
It's
same
no good,
time,
and it's too expensive.
let the president go ahead, sir.
Obamacare is no good. We made it better, and I had a choice to make very early on. We took away the individual mandate. We guarantee pre-existing conditions, but took away the individual mandate. Listen, this is the way it is.
Yeah, I know. Joe's
And that
getting lucky,
destroyed-
right?
They shouldn't even call it Obamacare. Then I had a choice to make. Do I let my people run
Maybe
it
that's why he
really
wants
well?
cheap prescriptions so
Well,
that you can get that little
If I
blue
run
pill.
it badly, they'll probably blame him, but they'll blame me. But more importantly, I want to help people, okay? I said, you got to run it so well.
That's what he's
And I
known for.
just had a meeting with them. They said, the problem is no matter how well you run Obamacare, it's a disaster. It's too expensive,
I got you.
premiums
I
are
got
too
it.
high, and
That's
it
what his
doesn't work.
people- that's what
So
his people have said.
we do want to get rid of it.
It's
Chris,
an
we
open
want to get rid of it.
I
and
understand
give
it, sir, but
something
I have
that's
to. I
cheaper
have to
and
give
better.
you roughly equal time.
Good.
Please let the vice president talk.
Good.
He has
Donald
no
needs to let him
plan
finish
for
before
healthcare.
interrupting. It's not a
Please,
good look.
he
Yeah,
sends-
but that's Trump.
He sends out wishful thinking.
He did the
has
same thing
executive
with,
orders that
Hillary, I
have no
think.
power. He hasn't lowered drug costs for anybody. He's been promising a health care plan since he got elected. He has none, like almost everything else he talks about. He does not have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. And the fact is, this man doesn't know what he's talking about.
All right.
He's
I have one final question for you,
Sure.
Mr. Vice President. If Senate Republicans, we were talking originally about the Supreme Court here, if Senate Republicans go ahead and confirm Justice Barrett, there has been talk about ending the filibuster or even packing the court, adding to the nine
Yeah, let's talk
justices
about
there.
packing the court.
You call this a distraction by
Sore
the president,
losers.
but in fact it wasn't brought up by the president. It was brought up by some of your Democratic colleagues in the Congress. So my question to you is, you have refused in the past to talk about it. Are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should speak. You should go out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now.
gonna pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't wanna
you're a
answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question
you want to put
is
a lot of
the
new
question
Supreme Court
is
justice,
the
radical
question-
left.
Will you
Who
shut
is
up,
on-
man?
listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
Right, gentlemen, I think
This is so
He's going to pack the
unprecedented.
court.
we
and
have
he's not going to give a list.
we have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it?
About that.
Keep yapping, man.
The people understand, Joe.
They sure do.
47 years you've done nothing. They understand.
All right. The second subject is COVID-19, which is an awfully serious subject. So
If you didn't think Trump was an asshole,
let's
I mean,
try to be serious about it.
Of
We
course
have
he's an
had
asshole.
more than 7 million cases
That's
of
why people like him.
coronavirus in the United States, and more than 200,000 people have died.
Bull
Even
crap.
after we produce
Not of
a
the actual
vaccine,
virus they
experts say
haven't.
that it could be months or even years before we come back to anything approaching
Don needs to let
normal.
Joe talk so
My
he can put
question
his foot in
for
his
both
mouth,
of you
right?
is, based on what you have said and done so far and what you have said you would do starting in 2021, why should the American people trust you more than your opponent to deal with this public health crisis going forward? In this case, the question goes to you first, sir. 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Good luck. 200,000 dead. As you said, over 7 million
200,000
infected in
dead.
the United States. We, in fact, have 5%, 4% of the world's population, 20% of the deaths. 40,000 people a day are contracting COVID. In addition to that, about between 750 and
Does it
1,000
drive
people
anyone
a day are
else?
dying.
They
When he was
call
presented
these
with that number, he said,
ex-politicians
it
by the
is
title they had.
what it is. Well, it is what it is because
He's not
you
the
are who you are.
FNPP.
That's why it is. The president has no plan. He hasn't laid out anything. He knew all
It's
the way
kinda
back
like
in February how serious
when
this
you're done being
crisis
a Marine,
was.
an active
He knew
Marine,
it
you're
was
still a
deadly
Marine.
disease. What did
right?
he do? He's on tape as acknowledging he knew.
I'm okay with
he said
him
he
still
didn't
being
tell
called
us
vice
or
president.
give people a warning of it because he didn't want to panic the American people. You don't panic. He panicked. In addition to that, what did he do? He went in and we were insisting that the Chinese, the people we had on the ground in China should be able to go to Wuhan and determine for themselves how dangerous this was. He did not even ask Xi to do that. He told us what a great job Xi was doing. He said we owe him a debt of gratitude for being so transparent with us. And what did he do then? He then did nothing. He waited and waited and waited. He still doesn't have a plan. I laid out
Sir,
back
it's
in
his 2
March
minutes.
exactly what we should be doing. And I laid out again in July what we should be doing. We should be providing all the protective gear possible. We should be providing the money the House has passed in order to be able to go out and get people the help they need to keep their businesses open schools. It costs a lot of money. You should get out of your bunker and get out of the sand trap and get in your golf course and go in the Oval Office and bring together the Democrats and Republicans and fund what needs to be done now to save lives.
So if we would have listened to you.
You have 2 minutes, sir.
If we would have listened to you, the country would have been left wide open. Millions of people would have died, not 200,000, and one person is too much. It's China's fault. It should have never happened. They stopped it from going in, but it was China's fault. And by the way, when you talk about numbers, you don't know how many people died in China. You don't know how many people died in Russia. You don't know how many people died in India. They don't exactly give you a straight count, just so you understand. But if you look at what we've done, I closed it, and you said he's xenophobic. He's a racist, and he's xenophobic because you didn't think we should have closed our country. Wait a minute.
It says 2 minutes.
You didn't think we should have closed our country because you thought it was terrible. You wouldn't have closed it for another 2 months. By my doing it early, in fact, Dr. Fauci said President Trump saved thousands of lives. Many of your Democrat governors said President Trump did a phenomenal job. We worked with the governors. Oh, really? Go take a look. The governors said I did a phenomenal job. Most of them said that. In fact, people that would not be necessarily on my side said that. President Trump did a phenomenal job. We did. We got the gowns. We got the masks. We made the ventilators. You wouldn't have made ventilators. And now we're weeks away from a vaccine. We're doing therapeutics already. Fewer people are dying when they get sick. Far fewer people are dying. We've done a great job. The only thing I haven't done a good job, and that's because of the fake news. No matter what you say to them, they give you bad press on it. It's just fake news. They give you good press. They give me bad press because that's the way it is, unfortunately. But let me just tell you something. I don't care. I've gotten used to it. But I'll tell you, Joe, you could never have done the job that we did. You don't have it in your blood. You could have never done that job.
I know how to do the job. I know how to get the job
Well, you didn't do very well in swine flu. H1N1, you were a disaster. Your own chief of staff said you were a disaster.
14,000 people died, not 200,000. There was no economic recession.
Sir, you made a
there was no recession.
You made a point. Let him answer it.
And there was we didn't shut down the economy. This is his economy that's he shut down. The reason it's shut down is because, look, you folks at home, how many of you got up this morning and had an empty chair at the kitchen table because someone died of COVID? How many of you were in a situation where you lost your mom or dad and you couldn't even speak to them? You had a nurse holding a phone up so you could, in fact, say goodbye.
You would have lost far more people. Far more people.
And,
you would have been
and by the way, his own CDC director says we could lose as many as another 200,000 people between now and the end of the year. And he held up. He said, if we just wear a mask, we can save half those numbers. Just a mask. And by the way, in terms of the whole notion of a vaccine, we're for a vaccine, but I don't trust him at all, nor do you. I know you don't. What we trust is a scientist.
You don't trust Dr.
Johnson
Fauci. Johnson, Pfizer.
Okay,
by the way,
gentlemen, let me move on to questions about the future because you both have touched on two of the questions I'm going to ask. Focusing on the future first, President Trump, you have repeatedly either contradicted or been at odds with some of your government's own top scientists. The week before last, the head of the Centers for Disease Control, Dr. Redfield, said it would be summer before the vaccine would become generally available to the public. You said that he was confused and mistaken. Those were your 2 words.
Yeah.
But Dr. Slawi, the head of your Operation Warp Speed, has said
Hopefully
exactly
the stream
same
looks
thing.
better
Are
than
they
it
both
was.
wrong?
Well, I've
Messing with
spoken to
settings.
the companies, and we can have it a lot sooner. It's a very
I
political
know Joe
thing
is
because
dying.
people
Look at
like
him.
this would rather make
Canada
it political
keeps
than save lives.
flights
It
open
is a
from
very
China.
political
They
thing.
could travel
I've
into the
spoken
US.
to Pfizer. I've spoken to
Malarkey
all
on
of
the
the
guy.
people
He's
that you have to
terrific.
speak to.
China,
We have
China,
great
China.
Moderna, Johnson & Johnson,
China made it,
and
released
others.
it. Obama
They can
paid
go
for it.
faster than
Democrats
that
use
by
it
a
to
lot.
their advantage.
Become very political
There you go.
because the left, or I don't know if I call
So
them
you're
left, I don't know
suggesting
what I
that
call
the
them.
head of your Operation Warp Speed, Dr. Slawi?
I disagree with him. Yeah, no, I disagree with both of them. And he didn't say that. He said it could be there, but it could also be much sooner. I had him in my office 2 days ago.
He talked about the summer, sir, before it's generally available. Just
Because
like
he
Dr.
said it's a
Redfield.
possibility that we'll have the answer before November 1st. It could also
I'm
be
talking
after
about when it's
that.
generally available, not when it
Well,
will
we're
be.
going to deliver it right away. We have the military all set up logistically. They're all set up. We have our military that delivers soldiers, and they can do 200,000 a day. They're going to be
This is
delivering
the
the
same
vaccine.
man
It's
who
all
told
set
you
up.
by Easter this would be gone away. By the warm weather, it'd be gone. Miraculous, like a miracle. And by the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm, and that would take care of it. This is the
That
same
was
man.
said sarcastically,
That was
and you
him.
know that.
I-
That was said sarcastically.
And so here's the deal. This man is talking about a vaccine. Every serious
That was a pretty good
every
jab.
serious company is talking about maybe having a vaccine.
After a
done
year of
by
Me
the end of
Too
the
and
year.
social
The
equality,
distribution
we
of that
still
vaccine
get 2
will
old
not
white
occur
men.
till
It's
sometime
classic, right?
beginning or the middle of
With
next
all the
year. Get it
minorities
out.
that first
If we
started
get
on the
the
Democratic
vaccine.
side,
And pray God
it always
we
comes
will.
down to a white
Pray
man.
God we will.
Mr. Vice President, I want to pick up
You'll have
on
the
that.
vaccine
I
sooner
want to
than
pick
that.
up on this question, though. You say the public can trust the scientists,
Canada's
but
run
they
by
can't
liberal
trust President Trump. In
globalists
fact,
that
you
love
said
China.
that again tonight.
Yeah.
Your running mate, Senator Harris, goes further, saying the public health experts, quote, will be muzzled, will be suppressed. Given the fact that polls already show that people are concerned about the vaccine and are reluctant
All
to
right.
take it,
We're going
are
for the
you and your
third
running mate,
code
Senator
word.
Harris, contributing to
Get
that
ready.
fear?
No more
Get
than
ready
the
for the
question you just asked
third
him.
code
You pointed
word.
out. He puts pressure and disagrees with his own scientists.
But you're saying
Everybody
you can't.
knows.
The
Senator
third
Harris is saying you
code
can't
word
trust the
is
scientists.
I'm the
you
guy.
Can't trust the scientist. She didn't say
I'm the
that. You
guy.
can't trust
She
the-
said
That's the
the
third
public health
code
experts,
phrase,
quote,
code
will
word.
be muzzled, will be
Yes.
suppressed.
Well, that's what he's going to try to do. But there's millions of scientists, there's thousands of scientists out there, like here at this great hospital, that don't work for him. Their job doesn't depend on him. That's not. They're the people. And by
I
the way,
spoke to the
and Fauci,
scientists that are in
and by
charge.
the way,
They will have
and
the vaccine very
does-
soon.
Let him finish.
Do you believe for a moment what he's telling you in light
Stream
of
looks
all
good.
the
That's
lies
good.
he's told you about the whole issue relating to COVID? He still
I
hasn't
honestly
even
would rather watch
acknowledged
them hit each
that
other
he
with
knew
shoes like
this
you do in
was
China.
happening,
Yeah,
knew
that'd be
how
nice.
dangerous it was going to be.
All right, guys.
in
The
February,
third
and he
phrase
didn't
is
even
I'm the
tell
guy.
you.
Write it
He's
down.
on record
If you
as
want
saying it. He
a
panicked
chance at
or he just looked at the
this
stock market.
paperweight
One of the two,
made out of
because guess what?
aluminum.
A lot of people died.
I'm the guy.
And a lot
All
more
right, I'm
gonna
gonna
die
take it
unless he
down
gets
now.
a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
Mr. President, your different approaches has even affected the way that you have campaigned. President Trump, you're
Tell me
holding
if I'm
large
back
rallies with crowds packed together, thousands of people.
Outside.
Outside, yes, sir. Agreed. Vice President
Hold on a
Biden,
second,
you
guys.
are holding much smaller events with
Because nobody will show up.
people with.
Well, it's true. Nobody shows up to his rallies.
All right. In any case, why you holding the big rallies? Why you not? You goes first, sir.
Because people want to hear what I have to say. I mean,
But are you
I've
not
done a
worried
great
about it
job
spreading
as a
disease?
president, and I'll have 35,000 people show up at airports. We use airports.
Are you
and
not worried
hangars,
about
and we
the
have a
disease
lot of
issue,
people.
sir?
Well, so far we have had no problem whatsoever. It's outside. That's a big difference, according to the experts. And we do them outside. We have tremendous crowds, as you see. I mean, and literally on 24 hours' notice. And Joe does the circles and has 3 people someplace.
Okay.
By the
All
way,
right.
did
Well,
you-
I
did
lowered
you-
the
did
quality
you
of the
see
stream a
one
little
of the
bit,
last
so hopefully
rallies
it
he
won't
had?
buffer so much
And
now.
a reporter came up to him to ask him a question. He said, no, stand back. Put on your mask. Put on a mask. Have you been tested? I'm way far away from those other people. That's what he said. I can't. I'm going to be okay. He's not worried about you. He's not worried about the people out there breathing in one another.
We've had no
or
negative
cheek to
effect.
jowl. No negative effect.
We've
Come
had
on.
no negative effect. And we've had 35, 40.
Thank you guys for sticking around for sure.
Just quickly finish up because I want to move on to our next.
Yes, I would. He's been totally irresponsible the way in which he has handled the social distancing and people wearing masks, basically encouraged them not to.
All right.
He's a fool on this.
If you could get the crowds, you would have done the same thing. But you can't. Nobody
We
cares.
lost a
Gentlemen, can we
couple
move on to
folks,
the
it looks like.
gentlemen?
That's
Can we
not
move
good.
on to the economy?
Yes.
The economy is, I think it's fair to say, recovering faster than expected from the shutdown.
Much faster.
In the second quarter, the unemployment rate fell to
14 people.
8.4% last month. The Federal Reserve says the hit to growth, which is going to be there, is not going to be nearly as big as they had expected. President Trump, you say we are in a V-shaped recovery. Vice President Biden, you say it's more of a K-shape. What difference does that mean
doesn't give a shit about
to
any of
the
us?
American people in terms of the economy? President
Which one,
Trump, in
Biden
this
or Trump,
segment,
or
you go
both?
first.
So we built the greatest economy in history. We closed it down because of the China plague.
I do
When
think
the
Trump
plague
is
came in,
trying
we
to do
closed
what
it
he
down,
thinks
which
is
was
best
very
for this
hard
country.
psychologically to do. He didn't think we should close it down, and he was wrong.
Which I'll give him credit
Again,
for on that.
2 million people would
Joe
be
can't
dead
find
now.
anything
Instead of
to say unless
still,
he's lying.
204,000 people is too much. One
Talking
person is
spreads
too
the
much.
Rona,
Should
so
have
stop
never
talking.
happened from China. But what happened is
Right.
we closed it down, and now we're reopening, and we're doing record business. We had
Minnesota
10.4
vote buying
million
scandal is
people
crazy.
in a 4-month
Right?
period that we've put back
I can't
into the
believe
workforce.
it, man.
That's a record
Nobody's
the
gonna
likes
go to
of which
jail either.
nobody's
Nobody
ever
of
seen
importance.
before. And he wants to close down he will shut it down again. He will destroy this country. You know, a lot of people, between drugs and alcohol and depression, when you start shutting it down, you take a look at what's happening in some of your Democrat-run states where they have these tough shutdowns. And I'm telling you, it's because they don't want to open it. One of them came out last week. You saw that. Oh, we're going to open up on November 9th. Why November 9th? Because it's after the election.
After the election.
They think they're hurting us by keeping them closed. They're hurting people. People know what to do. They can social distance. They can wash their hands. They can wear masks.
Can
they
we
can do
just
whatever
see
they
your
want.
taxes?
But they got to open.
Well, we
the
saw
states
Trump's
up.
taxes,
When you
and
look at
Biden
North
released his, I
Carolina,
guess.
when you look, and these
How
governors
much
are under
are
siege.
votes going for in
Pennsylvania,
Minnesota?
Michigan,
Like
and a couple of others.
$300?
You got to open these
$200?
states up.
$200 to
It's
$300?
not fair. You're talking about almost it's like being in prison. And you look at what's
Thought
going
he
on
already
with
released
divorce.
his taxes?
Look at what's
No.
going on with alcoholism and drugs.
Biden
It's a
did.
very, very sad thing.
OMG,
and
you
he'll
think
close
that's
down the whole
only
country.
happening
This guy
in
will close down
Minnesota?
the whole
I know,
country
right?
and
That's happening in
destroy
a
our
lot of
country.
places.
Our country is coming back incredibly well, setting records as it does it. We don't need somebody to come in and say,
It's going
let's
to
shut
take
it down.
actual American
right.
citizens
Your
to
2
go
minutes,
out
sir.
and do
We're now
something
moved
about
to
it
you.
because we're going to have to get justice ourselves because it's
As
not
I
going to happen
said,
any other
posing
way.
the question, the president says it's a V-shaped recovery. You say it's a K-shaped recovery. What's the difference?
The difference
Yeah.
is millionaires and billionaires like him in the middle of the COVID crisis have done very well. Another billionaires have raised.
Oh, so you
made
better
another
win the
$300
80
billion
and make one.
because of his profligate tax.
Oh, I missed the pre-dawn death one.
proposal. And
I have so
he
much
only
300
focused on the
black
market.
ammo,
But you
subsonic.
folks
I don't
at
have
home,
dude, you don't have a
folks
300
living in
black?
Scranton and Claymont and all the small
We
towns.
need to do
and
a trade.
working-class towns in
I could
America.
use some 300
How
black.
are you doing?
Especially the
This guy paid
subsonic.
a total of $750 in
wrong.
taxes.
Sir, wait, no, sir. it's just-
RGB was
Yeah, I understand.
RBG
You've agreed
was
to
the
the 2
only
minutes, so
non-virus
please
death
let him
this
have
year.
it.
Do I get my time back? The fact is that
The winner
he
who
has,
has
in
the most
fact,
votes in
worked
their
on
trunk.
this in a way that he's going to be the first president of the
I
United
just
States
got a
to
J&P
leave office,
captured
having
recoil
fewer
spring for my
jobs
300
for
black
his
out. The
administration
the really
than
nice
when he became
whisper
president.
quiet one.
Fewer jobs than when he
pretty
became
cool.
president. First one in American history. Secondly, the people who have lost their jobs are those people who have been on the front lines, those people who have been saving our lives, those people who have
is the
been
way to
out
go?
there dying, people who've been putting
Maybe.
themselves in the way to make
I don't
sure
know.
that we could all try to make
I'm
it.
pretty happy with
And
mine.
The idea that he is insisting that we go forward and open when you have almost half the
If
states
you
in
remember my
America with a
videos, I
significant
like to
increase
punish
in COVID
my
deaths and
equipment.
COVID
So I wanted to
cases
get
in the
something
United
that
States of
could
America.
take a lot
And
of
he wants
heat.
to open it up more. Why does he want to open it up? Why doesn't he take care of the American? You can't fix the economy until you fix the COVID crisis. And he has no intention of doing anything about making it better for you all at home in terms of your health and your safety. Schools. Why aren't schools open? Because it costs a lot of money to open them safely. You know, they were going to give, his administration was going to give the teachers and school students masks.
Biden's holding
Then
his
they
own.
decided, no, couldn't do that because it's not a national emergency. Not a national emergency. They've done nothing to help small
always funny,
businesses.
though, he reminds me of
Nothing.
Walter
They're
from
closing.
John-
1 in 6
Jeff
is now
Dunham's
gone. He ought to
ventriloquist
get
dummies.
on the job and take care of the needs of the American people.
If your mind
so
wasn't
we
made up
can open
before
safely.
this, I
Your
have
time
some
is up,
magic
sir.
beans
Well, you're
to
going to
sell
get to
you.
the.
Yeah, I
I
know,
got to
right?
respond to that.
Well, you both had 2 minutes, sir.
Excuse me, he made a statement.
So did you.
People want their schools open. They don't want to be shut down. They don't want their state shut down. They want their restaurants.
I want you to
look
get
at
out of
New
my
York,
life.
It's so sad
I
what's
want the
happening in New
government.
York. It's
That's,
almost
you
like
know,
a
if I
ghost
ever
town.
ran for an
And I'm not
office,
sure
that
it
would be
can
my
ever
slogan.
recover
I
what
won't
they've done
bother
in New
you.
York. People
I'm not
want
going to
their
write any
places
new
open.
laws.
They want to
I
get
might
back to
even
their
take
lives.
some laws
They'll
off the
be
books.
careful, but they want their schools open.
People
want
I'm
to
the
be
one that
safe.
brought back football. By the way, I brought back Big Ten
He's on
football.
about 40 milligrams
It was
of
me,
Adderall.
and I'm very happy to do it. And
All right,
people of
let's-
Ohio are very proud of me. And you know
We're
how
going
I
to get
found
back,
out? When he took
gentlemen,
a phony
we're going to
ad.
get to your economic plans going forward in a moment. But first, Mr. President, as you well know, there's a new report that in 2016, the year you were elected president, and 2017, your first year as president, that you paid $750 a year in federal income tax each of those years. I know that you pay a lot of other taxes, but I'm asking you the specific question. Is it true that you paid $750 in federal income taxes each of those 2 years?
I paid millions of dollars in taxes, millions of dollars of income tax. And let me just tell you, there was a story in one of the papers.
Show us your tax
I paid
returns.
$38 million 1 year. I paid $27 million
Show us your tax
1 year.
returns.
I went, you'll see it as soon as it's finished. You'll see it. You know, if you want to do, go to the Board of Elections. There's a 118-page or so report that says everything I have, every bank I have, I'm totally under-leveraged because the assets are extremely good, and we have a very...
Newsflash, big
I built a-
surprise,
I'm
Broken
asking you a
Patriot
specific
is going to be
question,
Let me
voting.
tell you.
I understand all of that.
Release your
I
tax
understand
return.
all of that.
But let me-
No, Mr. President,
Go ahead.
I'm asking you a question. Will you tell
you
us
said
how
that.
much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Okay.
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it.
I-
And you'll get to
When?
see it. But let me
After the
just tell you-
election.
Chris, let me just tell you
That's what I would
something.
say.
It was the tax laws. I don't want to pay tax. Before I came here, I was a private
Mail-in
developer.
ballots for
I
the
was
win?
a private
Yeah.
business people. Like every other private person, unless they're stupid, they go through the laws, and that's what it is. He passed a tax bill that gave us all these privileges for depreciation
was for you?
and for
Okay.
tax credits. We build a building and we get tax credits like the hotel.
I don't think I would
on
run for
Pennsylvania
president.
Avenue. You get a massive, which by the way was
But I might
given
run
to
for
me
something
by
local.
the Obama administration, if you can believe that. Now the man got
Facebook keeps
fired
nagging me to
right after
request
that
a mail-in
happened,
ballot.
but
Vice
that's
President Biden, you want to respond?
Yeah, I do want to respond. Look, the tax code that made him, put him in a position that he pays less tax than a school teacher on the money a school teacher makes is
Huh? Why?
because of
Why?
him he says he's smart because he can take advantage of the tax code.
You got
And he does
300
take
blackout
advantage of the tax code.
tracers?
That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts, and I'm going to
Now
eliminate
you're just making
those
me
tax
jealous
cuts
on purpose.
and make sure that we invest in the people who, in fact, need the help. People out there need help.
But why didn't you
If
do
you're
it
up
over
for a
20
trade,
last
Pre-Dawn, let
25
me know,
years?
man.
Because you are
Why
president.
didn't you do it
I
over
got
you
9
are
mil.
president
Do you
screwing
need any
things
9
up.
mil?
You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were a
president
vice-
America has ever had.
Hey,
No,
Joe,
that
let
was
me- Let
Obama.
me just tell you, Joe. I've done more in 47 months. I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe. We've done things that you never even thought of doing,
Okay,
including
gentlemen.
fixing the broken military
And
that
yes,
you gave
we
me,
hate your
and
guts.
taking care of
We're
your
talking,
vets.
Mr.
Flatter
President,
me.
we're talking about the economy. I'd like to
300
ask you
blackout is
about your
inferior.
plans going forward.
Not where
because,
I'm- not-
Mr. Vice
not in my
President, your
situation, it
economic
isn't.
plan, if you were to be
Yes.
elected
I'm voting
president,
strictly by mail
focuses a lot
multiple
on big
times.
government,
There you go.
big taxes, big spending.
Beat 'em
I
at their
wanna
own
focus
game.
First on the taxes. You propose more than $4 trillion over a
Pre-Dawn
decade
is an
in new
explosive expert.
taxes
Yeah, he does blow a lot of
on
shit up.
Individuals making more than $400,000 a year and on
How many times can
corporations.
one vote
President
by
Trump
mail?
says that kind of an increase
I don't know,
in
quite a
taxes
few, I guess.
is going to hurt the economy as it's just coming out of a recession.
Well, just take a look at what as the analysis done by Wall Street firms points out that my economic plan would create
Don't
7
file your taxes
million more
using the
jobs
short
than his
form.
in
You
4
can
years,
deduct a lot of
number
stuff.
one. And number two,
Pre-Dawn
it would
protecting
create
his yard
an
sign with
additional
tannerite.
$1 trillion in economic growth because it would.
Dude,
be
I love
about
your intro too, man,
buying
where you're
America.
like,
That
you'll
we
never
have
take
to-
me
we're gonna
alive,
make this
Pre-Dawn,
federal
and then
government
it's like
spend
the explosion.
$600 billion
That's
a
well
year on
done,
everything
dude.
from
Well done.
ships to steel to buildings and the like. And under my proposal, we're going to make sure that every
Vote by
penny
mail,
of
then
that
vote
has to
absentee,
be
and then vote in
made
person.
by
There you go.
a
But,
company
but
in
respectfully,
America.
sir, I'm talking about taxes, not spending.
By the way, I'm going to eliminate a significant number of the tax. I'm going to make the The corporate tax, 28%. It shouldn't be 21%. You have 91 companies.
Yeah, let's raise taxes. That
federal-
sounds good.
I mean, in the Fortune 500 who don't pay a single penny in tax, making billions of dollars.
Why didn't you do it
Billions
before
of
when you were vice president
because,
with Obama?
Because you, in fact, passed that. That was
That's right.
your
I got
tax
it-
proposal.
I got it done. And you know what happened?
Yeah, you got it done.
Our economy boomed
And,
like it's never boomed
The economy is
Mr.
busted.
President,
Let me
wait, no,
finish.
Mr. President, let me pick up on that. You would continue your free market approach, lower taxes, more deregulation, correct?
Not lower taxes for American people.
But let me.
Excuse me.
But in Obama's.
I don't
you talk
know.
about the
I've been
economy
doing all
booming.
right with the
It
taxes
turns out
lately.
that in Obama's final 3 years as president,
It's not a lot
more
lower, but
jobs
it is
were
lower.
created, 1.5 million more jobs than in the first 3 years of your presidency.
Let's
They
chase
had the
all jobs
slowest
back to China.
Recovery since
Right.
economic recovery since 1929. It was the slowest recovery. Also, they took over something that was down here. All you had to do is turn on the lights and you pick up a lot. But they had the slowest economic
right,
recovery since 1929. Let me tell you about the stock market. When the stock market goes up, that means jobs. It also means 401ks. If you got in, if you ever became president with your ideas, you want to terminate my taxes, I'll tell you what, you'll lose half of the companies that have poured in here will leave, and plenty
Half
of
of the
companies that are
companies-
already here, they'll leave for
hardly any
other
companies
places.
have
They will
poured in
leave,
here.
and you will have a
Have it.
depression, the likes of which you've never seen.
Look,
We're already almost there.
The worst
Kind of
recession
already are. What do
short
you
of
guys think about the depression? Are we in a
American
depression right
history.
now?
I was asked to bring it back. We were able to have an economic recovery.
Shut
that
this
created
country
the
down
jobs you're
again,
talking
it's
about.
guaranteed.
We handed him a booming economy. He blew it.
It wasn't
he
booming.
Blew it. He blew it.
It wasn't booming. It was the weakest recovery
Well, sir, is it
since
fair to,
1929.
is it fair to say he blew it when, in
When
fact,
COVID came in.
when there was record low
Does China allow
unemployment
guns
before
now?
COVID?
Yeah, but
They've had
because what
mass
he
school
did,
shootings.
even before
Pretty
COVID,
depressed.
manufacturing went in the hole. Manufacturing went in
Check
the
out
hole.
my new,
Number one.
EDC.
Number two.
Chris,
Number three.
They said it would take. No, you were number two.
No.
Chris, they said it would
This
take
guy
a
is
miracle to bring back manufacturing. I brought back 700,000
Pretty
jobs.
badass.
They brought back
I need to
nothing.
do a
They
review
gave
on
up on
this.
manufacturing.
We
Part
did
of
not
my
regret-
standard fare.
I'm the guy that
He
brought
totally
back
gave
the
up on
automobile.
I'm the guy.
Let him
I'm
know.
the
We brought
guy.
back, I was asked to bring back Chrysler and General Motors. We brought them back right here in the state of Ohio and Michigan. He blew it. They're gone. He blew it. And in fact, they're going.
Ohio had the best year it's ever had last year. Michigan had the best year they've ever had.
That is not
Many
true.
car companies came in from Germany, from Japan, went to Michigan, went to Ohio.
They're not having.
And they didn't come in with you.
Mr. Vice President, go ahead.
And so you take a look at what he's actually done. He's done very little. His trade deals are the same way. He talks about these great trade deals. You know, he talks
Your
about the art of
currency
the
is
deal.
backed by
China's
lead and
made-
copper. Well, I got
perfected the art
80
of the
pounds
steel.
of lead
We have a
bars.
higher deficit with China
So
now
that
than
precious
we did
metal I'm doing
before.
okay with.
We have the highest trade deficit
China
with
ate
Mexico.
your lunch down
All right, gentlemen.
18%.
Yeah, one of those
China ate
one-pound
your
bars.
lunch, Joe. And no wonder your son goes in and he takes out
comes Hunter.
billions of dollars. Takes out billions of dollars to manage. He makes millions of
Long
dollars.
hit. There you
And
go.
also,
Simply
while
not
we're at it,
true.
Whatever
why is
your,
it, just
drug
out
of
of
choice is.
curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million.
That's
What
not
did he
true.
do to deserve it?
That
What
is
did he do with Burisma
none
to
of that
deserve
is true.
$183,000?
That's not true. He's
Let him
denying.
answer.
He is denying it.
None of that is true.
Oh,
It's
really? He didn't
totally
get
But no,
$3.5
hey,
million?
Mr. President,
It's
Mr.
totally-
President, please.
totally
ask a question.
discredited. Totally discredited. And by the way,
Well, wait, he
let's
didn't
talk-
get $3.5 million, Joe?
Mr. Vice,
He got
Mr.
$3.5 million.
President,
That is not true.
Oh,
Here's-
really?
Mr.
Oh.
President,
But, Mr.
it's an open discussion, please.
It's a fact.
Well,
It
you
is.
have
not a
raised an issue. Let the
been
Vice
totally
President answer.
discredited.
Did
There was a
Burisma pay him
report.
$183,000 a month with no experience in energy?
Mr.
Look,
President,
no
my
job?
son did nothing wrong at
Oh, he's
Burisma.
smelling
he
blood in
did.
the water.
Mr.
The only
President,
guy that
let
did
him
something-
answer.
He doesn't want to let me answer because he knows I have the truth. His position has been totally, thoroughly discredited.
Biden has
and
the
you
truth.
can-
The media.
By everybody. Well, by the
By the
media,
media,
by our
because they refuse to
allies, by
talk
the
about it
World
because they're
Bank,
embarrassed.
by everyone has discredited. Matter of fact, even the people
President,
who
please stop.
testified under oath.
So let me
under
ask you
oath,
this,
under-
Joe.
under
No,
oath.
go ahead, Mr. I'm listening to
even the
you.
people under.
He got $3.5 million from
testified-
Moscow.
He testified under oath in his administration, said, I did my job and I did it very well.
Oh,
I
really?
did it
I'd like to
honorably.
know who they are.
Well, I'll give you the list
I'll
of the
fire
people who
them.
testified.
No, go ahead, sir.
Sure, you've already fired most of them because they did a
Some
good
people-
job.
Some people don't
Well,
have a good
here's
job.
Art.
With you,
Go
they
ahead.
say
You get
here's
the,
the
wait a
deal.
minute. You get the
QC,
final
my
word.
thoughts
Well,
on
it's
the
hard to
bong
get any
hits
word
instead
in
of
with this
drinks,
clown.
but damn,
Excuse
we
me,
get
this-
stoned.
Hey, let me just say to
No, no, no.
quit.
Mr. President,
$3.5
Mr.
million.
You're on strong,
President.
Mark.
That is simply
why did he
not true.
deserve $3.5 million
It
from
did-
Moscow?
Look, here's the deal. We want to talk
Fact
about
checked by
families
Snopes.
and ethics. I don't want to do that. I mean, his family we could talk about all night. His family's
My
already
family,
No, no, let him go.
my family
already
lost
wrote
a fortune by
That's right.
coming down and helping
Go
us
ahead.
with
Go ahead,
government.
sir.
And that's such a
they're right
that's
here.
it, Mr.
That's
President.
such a
Every
great.
single one of them lost
This
a
is not
fortune
about
President.
my
coming and
family or
helping
his
us with
family. It's
government.
about your family,
They
the
didn't
American
collect
people.
$3.5 million
He
for
doesn't.
nothing.
That's not true. It doesn't want to talk about what you need. You, the American people. It's about you. That's what we're talking about
you
here.
should
All right,
Not
that's the, end
about
of
here.
that's the end of the
Shouldn't have
segment.
taken the money.
We're moving on.
He didn't take them.
Well,
Vice
it's a
President,
but Chris,
no,
can I be honest? It's a very important
Try to be
question.
honest.
No,
That's a
I
He
good
stood
thing.
up.
No,
he stood up,
the answer to
and
the
he
question is no.
threatened Ukraine.
No, sir.
With $1 billion, if you don't
That
get rid of
is
the troops.
You know what? You're
absolutely not
stop.
true.
You're on tape
You're-
doing it.
You're going to
You're on
have
tape.
True.
Gentlemen.
Is-
I hate to raise
Chris,
my voice,
he's
but
on
it seems
tape.
to be, why should I be different than the two of you? So
There you
here's
go.
the
Got a
deal.
good point.
We have 6 segments.
Can I have
We have
some
ended
pot
that
flavored
segment.
pot, not
We're
all
going
these
to go to the
strange
next
vape
segment.
products.
In
Dude,
that
I can't do the
you each are
smoking
going to have
anymore.
2 uninterrupted moments. In
'Cause I
those
don't
2
smoke.
uninterrupted minutes, Mr. President, you can
And
say
I have a lung
anything you
condition,
want.
so I have to do edibles.
I'm going to ask
or
a question about
I
race, but
might
if
do
you
the
want to
vape.
answer
I
about
like
something
vaping.
else, go ahead.
I just don't do
But
that anymore
I
anyway.
think that the
My vodka
country
tastes
would be
like
better
vodka. Well,
served
that's good.
if we allowed both people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting
Well, that's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
Well,
And I
less
have
than
some chocolate
sir,
and
less
more
than
plenty.
No, less than you have. Let's please continue on. The issue of race. Vice President Biden, you say that President Trump's response to the violence in Charlottesville 3 years ago, when he talked about very fine people on both sides,
QC, but it's harvest
was what
season here, is it?
directly led you.
If you do it in your
to
house,
launch
isn't
this run for
all seasons
president.
harvest season?
President Trump, you have often said that you believe you have done more for black Americans than any president, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln. My question for the two of you is, why should voters trust you rather than your opponent to deal with the race issues facing this country over the next 4 years? Vice President Biden, you go first.
It's about equity and equality. It's about decency. It's about the Constitution.
Oh,
And
is
we have
it?
never walked away from.
Yeah, I love
trying
it
to
that you
require-
like the Constitution
require
when it
equity
suits
for
you.
everyone, equality for the whole of America. But we've never accomplished it. But we've never walked away from it like he has done. It is true. The reason I got in the race is when those people, close your eyes, remember what those people look like coming out of the fields carrying torches, their veins bulging, just spewing anti-Semitic bile, and accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan. A young woman got killed. And they asked the president what he thought. He said there were very fine people on both sides. No president's ever
Finish
said
the
anything
statement.
like that.
Finish the statement.
It is whose
Now,
2
second,
minutes, sir.
second point I'd make to you is that when Floyd was killed, when Mr. Floyd was killed, there was a peaceful protest in front of the White House. What did he do? He came out of his bunker, had the military use
It's
tear
funny
gas
that he's
on him so he
claiming
could
that
walk
Trump was
across
in a bunker.
to a church and hold up a Bible. And then what happened after that? The bishop of that very church said that it was a disgrace. The general who was with him said all he ever wants to do is divide people, not unite people at all. This is a president who has used
I only start
everything
my
as a
plants
dog
inside. I
whistle
grow in flowers
to try
and
to
outside with the
generate
real sunlight.
racist
Right on.
hatred, racist
Is it legal
division.
there in Maine,
This
or
is
is
a
it
man who, in
legal
fact,
for
you
medical?
talk about helping African Americans. 1 in
Blue dream, love
1,000
it.
African Americans has been killed because of the coronavirus.
Come
And
on,
if he
Adderall,
doesn't do
we're all-
something quickly, by the end of the year, 1 in 500 will have been killed. 1 in 500 African Americans. This man is a savior of African Americans. This man cares at all. This man's done virtually nothing.
Well, if you don't
Look,
vote for me,
the fact is that you have
you're
to
not
look
black,
at what
right?
he talks about. You have to look at what he did. And
Who's
what he
winning?
did
I
has
don't
been
know, man. It's
disastrous
kind of-
for the African American community.
Both of them are lying a little bit here and
President
there,
Trump,
but
you have 2 minutes. Why
both
should
are sounding pretty good, I
Americans
guess.
trust
Trump's
you
kind of
over
looking like an
your
a-hole.
opponent to deal with
He
racism?
did a crime bill, 1994, where you call them super predators,
Something like
African
without
Americans.
chemtrails, that'd be nice.
And they've never forgotten it. They've never forgotten it, Joe.
No, sir. It's his 2 minutes.
So you did that, and they call you a super predator, and I'm letting people out of jail now that you have treated the African American population community. You have treated the
Oh,
black
please,
community
let's get back
about
into
as
his
bad as
past
anybody
with
in
his
this
kids.
country. You did the 1990, and that's why if you look at the polls, I'm doing better than any Republican has done in a long time because they saw what you did. You call them super predators, and you've called them worse than that. Because you look back at your testimony over the years, you've called them a lot worse than that. As far as the church is concerned, and as far as the generals are concerned, we just got the support of 250 military leaders and generals. Total support. Law enforcement,
Trump
almost
definitely came
every
off like
law
an a-hole in the
enforcement
beginning.
group
Yeah, still,
in the
I would
United
say.
States. I have Florida.
A
I have
peaceful
Texas,
protest that was
I
trying to
have
burn a historic
Ohio,
church down,
I
right?
have excuse me, Portland. The sheriff just came out today and
We're
he
a
said, "I
recreational
support
state, right
President
on.
Trump." I don't
That's
think
a
you
good
have
selling
any
point.
law enforcement. You can't even say the word law enforcement because if you say those words, you're going to lose all of your radical left supporters. And why aren't you saying those
Saints
words?
and
Joe?
sappers,
Why
I
don't you
missed it.
say
I
the
try to
words
use
law
my
enforcement?
time
Because
wisely.
you know what? If they called us
We
in
haven't missed
Portland,
everything yet.
we would put out that fire in
Still
a
two
half
more
an
code
hour.
words. Yeah,
but
we're
they
doing
won't
another
do it
one in 3
because
minutes.
They're run by radical left Democrats. If you look at Chicago, if you look at any
see they
place
get
you want to look, Seattle,
some
they heard
chicken
we were
poop
coming in the
tea
following
time
day,
once
and
a
they put
week
up their
until they
hands, and
start
we
to
got
flower.
back Seattle. Minneapolis, we got it back, Joe, because we believe in law and order, but you don't. The top 10 cities and just about the top 40 cities are run by Democrats and in many cases radical left, and they've got you wrapped around their finger, Joe, to a point where you don't want to say anything about law and order. And I'll tell you what, the people of this country want and demand
This is a
law
great
and order,
point.
and you're afraid to even
People
say
that are
it.
on the fence are going to love that
I'm
right
going to
there.
return to the question
In
of
my
race.
opinion.
Vice President Biden, after the grand jury in the Breonna Taylor case decided not to charge any of the police with homicide, you said it raises the question, quote, whether justice could be equally applied in America. Do you believe that there is a separate but unequal system of justice for blacks in this country?
Yes,
Well, I want
there's
to say
a
just
system-
blacks.
there's systemic injustice in this
Uh-oh.
country, in education,
Is it
and
wearing
work,
off?
and in law enforcement, and the way in which it's enforced. But look, the vast majority of police officers are good, decent, honorable men and women. They risk their lives every day to take care of us. But there are some bad apples. And when they occur, when they find them, they have to be sorted out. They have to be held accountable. They have to be held accountable. And
I'm
what
for
I'm
an
going to do as President of the United
independent
States is call together an entire
like all
group of
these
people at the White
internal
House.
investigations?
Well,
No,
everything
no, no.
from the
You need
civil
to have
rights
an
groups,
independent
the police
investigation.
officers, the police chiefs, and we're going to work this out. We're going to work this out so we change the way in which we have more transparency in when these things happen. These cops aren't happy to see what happened to George Floyd. These cops aren't happy to see what happened to
You almost said
Breonna
cocks.
Taylor. Most don't like it. But we have to have a system
Chicken poo
where
is the
people are held
best.
accountable.
Bat poo,
And
guano,
by the way,
yeah.
violence in response is never appropriate. Never appropriate. Peaceful protest is. Violence is never appropriate.
All right,
What is peaceful protest? When they run through the middle of the town
President Trump,
and burn down your
President Trump,
stores and kill people
President
all over
Trump,
the place,
that
and you
is
say
not
peaceful
peaceful
protest?
President
No,
Trump,
it's
I'm not
not,
asking
but
You
you
got
say
under
it
the
is.
skin
President
with that
Trump, I'd
one.
like to
Yeah, he
continue
did.
with
Keep
this
cops in
race. I
check.
promise we're going to get to the issue
Seriously,
of law and order
internal
in a moment.
investigations need to be a thing
This
of the
month,
past.
Your administration
Everybody should have a body
directed
camera.
federal agencies to end
And if you don't, if you turn yours
racial
off,
training that
you're in trouble.
addresses white privilege or critical race
White
theory.
privilege.
Why did you decide to do that, to end racial sensitivity training? And do you
'Cause
believe
it's
that there is
racist.
systemic racism in this country, sir?
I ended it because it's racist. I ended it because a lot of people were complaining that they were asked to do things.
Go back
that
to
were
just sheriffs.
absolutely
That would be
insane,
the dream for
that
me.
It was a
That would be my
radical revolution
He
that
didn't
was
want to talk
taking
about
place
this.
in
No,
our
he did not.
military, in our schools.
All right.
All over the
Code word
place, and you
time.
know it, and so does everybody
what
else.
is radical,
and he would know.
What is
oh,
radical
it's totally
about
racist.
racial sensitivity training, sir?
If you were a
hold
certain
on.
person,
1, 2,
you had no status in life. It was sort of a reversal.
Code
and if you look
word
at the people, we
is
were paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to
Nelia
teach
Hunter.
very bad ideas and frankly very sick ideas.
Neila.
And really,
Hold on a
they
sec.
were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to
Neila
do that. I'm not going to allow
Hunter.
that to happen. We have to go back to the core values of this country. They were teaching people that our
Hunter.
country
That's
is a horrible
Biden's
place.
first wife. Oops, Biden's first wife, Nelia Hunter.
I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Vice President Biden?
Nobody's doing that. He's the racist.
You just don't know.
Here's the deal. I know a lot more about
You
this
don't
than he
know.
does.
Let him finish.
The fact is that there is racial insensitivity. People have to be made aware of what other people feel like, what insults them, what is demeaning to them. It's important to people know they don't want to. Many people don't want to hurt other people's feelings, but it makes a big difference. It makes a gigantic difference in the way a child is able to grow up and have a sense of self-esteem. It's a little bit like how this guy and his friends look down on so many people. They look down their nose on people like Irish Catholics like me and grew up in Scranton. They look down on people who don't have money. They look down on people who are of a different faith. They look down on people who are a different color. In fact, we're all Americans. The only way we're going to bring this country together is bring everybody together. There's nothing we cannot do if we do it together. We can take this on.
All right, once again, the fourth code word is Nelia Hunter, Neila, Hunter, Hunter. I'm going to be removing it from the stream now.
Go to very many places. Look at Oakland. Look what happened in Oakland. Look what happened in Baltimore. Look what happened. Frankly, it was more violent than what I'm even seeing now.
Oh, my
but
Lord.
the
Pizzone
reason
or
is
Sheraton
that
for Maricopa
the
Sheriff?
Democrats that run these
Absolutely
cities
ridiculous.
don't want to talk like you about law and order.
Well, the sheriff that we have now
Violent.
is a liberal.
Are you in favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow
Are you in favor of law and order? Go
yes,
ahead,
I'm
say
in
it.
favor.
You asked a
Everybody's in favor
question,
of
let him finish.
Law and order. Law and order.
Let him answer.
Law and order with justice, where people get treated fairly. And the fact of the matter is, violent crime went down 15% in our administration.
17 or 15?
It's gone up on his watch.
Went down much more in ours.
All right, we're now.
He is president of
Mr.
the
President,
United
China
States of America.
Mr. President, Mr. President, you're going to be very happy because we're now going to talk about law and order.
We had trouble. We're Democratic-run cities.
Says the guy that hung out with
There
Robert
has been a
Byrd,
dramatic
right?
increase in homicides in America.
I wish Trump would
this
bring that
summer
up.
particularly, and you often blame that on Democratic mayors and Democratic governors, but in fact there have been equivalent spikes in Republican-led cities like Tulsa and Fort Worth. So the question is this really a party issue?
I think it's a party issue. You can bring in a couple of examples, but if you look at Chicago, what's going on in Chicago, where 53 people were shot and 8 died shot. If you look at New York, where it's going up like nobody's ever seen anything, the numbers are going up 100, 150, 200%. Crime. It is crazy what's going on. And he doesn't want to say law and order because he can't, because he'll lose his radical left supporters. And once he does that, it's over with. But if he ever got to run this country and they ran it the way he would want to run it, we would have our suburbs would be gone. By the way, our suburbs would be gone, and you would see problems like you've never seen.
He wouldn't know a suburb unless he took a wrong turn.
Oh, I know suburbs.
He would not.
So much
I was
better.
raised.
Go ahead. Wait a minute.
I was raised in the suburbs. This is not 1950. All these dog whistles and racism don't work anymore. Suburbs are by and large integrated.
Please,
There's many people
please
today
be
driving
bringing
their
up
kids to
his
soccer
past
practice
with-
and/or to black and white and Hispanic in the same car as there have been any time
With
in
Robert
the past.
Byrd or
what
other
really is a
parts.
threat to the suburbs and their safety is his failure to deal with COVID. They're dying in the suburbs. His failure to deal with the environment. They're being flooded. They're being burned out because his refusal to do anything. That's why the suburbs are in trouble.
I do want to talk about this issue of law and order, though. And in the joint recommendation that came from the Biden-Bernie Sanders task force, you
Poor
talk
Bernie,
about,
always getting
quote,
screwed.
reimagining policing. First of all, what does reimagining policing
Take out the
mean?
police
And
that are in
do you
there and
support
replace them with
these-
ones that
let me-
are under
if I
your
may finish the
control.
question. What does reimagining policing mean? And do you support the Black Lives Matter call for community control of policing?
Look, what I support is the police having the opportunity to deal with the problems they face. And I'm totally opposed to defunding the police officers. As a matter of fact, local police, the only one defunding it, his budget calls for a $400 million cut in local law enforcement assistance. They need more assistance. They need, when they show up for a 9/11 call, to have someone with them as a psychologist or psychiatrist to keep them from having to use force and be able to talk people down.
Can you imagine
We have
that?
to have
We got to get
community
a
policing like we had
psychologist
before,
when we
where the
go
officers
to
get
your
to
house.
know
The
people
response
in the
time
communities.
already
That's
is
when crime
forever
went
long.
down.
Now we got to
It
get
didn't
a
go up, it
psychologist
went
to come
down.
along on the
And
ride.
So we have to
Come
be
on.
That's
engaged
not what
in
they're
prevention.
talking about,
That's-
Chris. That's not what they're talking about. He's talking about defunding the police.
That is not true.
He doesn't have any law support.
Look,
He has no law enforcement
that's not
support.
true.
Almost
That's
nothing.
look.
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go
Look,
ahead.
look.
Think. We have time.
We don't have time to do
No,
anything.
think
so
about
listen.
it.
Look,
Name
folks,
one law enforcement group that came out and
I
supported
think, gentlemen,
you,
I think
Joe.
I'm going to take back the
There aren't.
moderator's
I don't
role,
think there
and
are any.
I want to get to another subject, which is the issue of protests in many cities that have turned
Nobody
violent.
goes
in
to jail
Portland,
except
Oregon,
us.
especially,
That's
we
right.
had more
Not
than
if you're well
100
connected.
straight days of protests.
Police unions
which I
need
think
to
you would
give
agree.
a
You talk
crap
peaceful
about the
protests.
problem.
Many of those
Yeah,
turned
we're
into
not peaceful.
riots. Mr. Vice President, you say that people who commit crimes
there's a lot
should
of
be
things
held
that I'm
accountable.
okay with a lot
The
of
question
police
I have,
reform,
though,
a
is,
lot
as
of
the
it.
Democratic nominee,
Like,
and
I'm
earlier
okay with
tonight
getting
you
rid
said
of the
that you are
no-knocks.
the Democratic Party right now. Have you ever
brew my
called the
own
Democratic mayor of
Down
Portland
9/11.
or the
I
Democratic
just got
governor
mine.
of Oregon and said,
Got my
hey,
own
you gotta
first
stop
9/11
this,
ever.
bring in the National Guard,
Protect
do
your
whatever
family,
it
be
takes,
a man
but
or
you'd
woman.
stop the days and months of violence in Portland.
I don't hold public office now. I am a former vice president. I've made it clear. I've made it clear in my public statements that the violence should be prosecuted. It should be prosecuted, and anyone who commits it
But
should
you've
be
never
prosecuted.
called for the people, the leader. Excuse me, sir. You have never called for the leaders in Portland and in Oregon to bring in the National Guard and knock off 100 days of riots.
They can, in fact, take care of it if he just stay out of the way. Look here.
Oh, really?
Here,
Oh, really?
here's the thing.
I sent marshals to get the killer of the young man in the middle of the street. They shot him, and for 3 days,
President Trump,
Portland wouldn't do anything. I had to send in the U.S. Marshals. They took care of business.
Go ahead, sir.
And by the way, his own former spokesperson said, riots and chaos and violence help his cause. That's what this is all about.
I don't know who said that.
I do.
Who?
I think Kellyanne Conway.
I don't think she said that.
She said that. And so here's the here's the point.
Go ahead,
the point
sir.
is that that's what he is, keeps trying to rile everything up. He doesn't want to calm things down. Instead of going in and talking to people and saying, let's get everybody together, figure out how to deal with this.
This
What's
is
he
a
do?
sweet
He just
piece.
pours gasoline in the fire constantly, every single solitary time.
And to end this, button up this segment, I'm going to give you a minute to answer,
So
sir.
if you were wondering what that was, that's a
you have
Your statement.
repeatedly,
Wait,
you have
just
repeatedly,
wait.
no,
Dan
you've been
Wesson.
talking
You
back
made
and
a
forth.
statement.
I'm
See,
asking
Bob.
you.
I would love to
you know,
end it.
sir.
I would love to end it, and
you
we
know, if
would
you want to
very-
switch seats,
We would very quickly.
We could do that, but
I'd
I'm
send in the National Guard. It would be over. There'd be no problem.
Okay,
But they
good.
don't want to accept the National Guard.
You have repeatedly criticized the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing
That's right.
extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say
Militia
that
groups?
they need to stand down
We
and
have
not
a right to have
add to the
militias.
violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Bullshit.
Are you
I'm willing
prepared to
do that,
specifically
but
do it?
Well,
I
go
would
ahead,
say,
sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you
If
saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it,
Free
sir.
Kyle.
Do it. Say
Free
it.
Kyle.
You want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name. Go ahead.
supremacists and
Who would
right
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem.
His
This
own
is a left-wing.
FBI director
This
said
is a
the threat
left-wing
of
problem.
white
Go ahead, sir.
supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what his
It's an idea.
FBI, his
Okay.
FBI director
Gentlemen,
said.
Well, then you know what?
No,
He's
no,
wrong.
we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next.
Everybody
We're
When
moving.
a bat
advice
hits
in
you
your
over the head, that's
administration.
not an idea.
Everybody in
Antifa
your
is bad.
administration tells you the truth.
I'd like to
is
hear
a
what
bad
Trump has to say
idea.
about
I tell you
Kyle
what,
Rittenhouse.
no ideas that are
Antifa is a dangerous
All right,
radical
gentlemen,
group.
we're now moving on to the Trump
And
and
you ought to be
Biden
careful with
records.
them. They'll overthrow you.
When
in
a
2
president,
seconds.
I'm going to ask a question. When the president seeks a second term, it is generally a referendum on his record. But Vice President Biden, you like to quote one of your dad's sayings, which is, don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the alternative. And in this case, sir, you are
Gerald B,
the
my
alternative.
9mm responds at
Looking
like 1,300 feet
at
per
both of your
second,
records,
lots
I'm
faster
going to
than
ask
any
each of
cop.
you,
There you go.
Why should voters elect you president over your opponent? In this segment, President Trump, you go first, 2 minutes.
Because there has never been an administration or president who has done more than I've done in a period of 3.5 years. And that's despite the impeachment hoax. And you saw what happened today with Hillary Clinton, where it was a whole big con job.
Oh, what was
but
with
despite
Hillary
going through
Clinton
all
today?
of these things, where I had to fight both flanks and
Antifa
behind
is not
me
an
and
organization,
above.
huh?
There has never been an administration that's done what I've done. The greatest, before COVID came in, the greatest economy in history, lowest unemployment numbers. Everything was good. Everything was going. And by the way, there was unity going to happen. People were calling me for the first time in years. They were calling and they were saying, it's time maybe. And then what happened? We got hit, but now we're building it back up again. A rebuilding of the military, including Space Force and all of the other things. A fixing of the VA, which was a mess under him. 308,000 people died because they didn't have proper health care. It was a mess. And we now got a 91% approval rating at the VA, our vets. We take care of our vets. But we've rebuilt our military. The job that we've done, and I'll tell you something, some people say maybe the most important. By the end of the first term, I'll have approximately 300 federal judges and Court of Appeals judges, 300, and hopefully 3 great Supreme Court justices. That is a record, the likes of which very few people, and you know one of the reasons I'll have so many judges? Because President Obama and him left me 128 judges to fill. When you leave office, you don't leave any judges. That's like, you just don't do that. They left 128 openings, and if I were a member of his party, because they have a little different philosophy, I'd say if you left us 128 openings, you can't be a
Trump
good
is crazy
president.
too, but less
you
crazy.
can't be a good vice president.
Joe's meds are really working good. Yeah, I think we had a minute where he was definitely stumbling over his words.
300 judges, it's a record.
Looking at both of your records, why should voters elect you president as opposed to President Trump? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Under this president, we become weaker, sicker, poorer, more divided, and more violent.
I wouldn't say it's because of the president we're more divided, although there are quite a few things I don't like that he's done.
We left him a booming economy, and he caused a recession. With regard to being weaker, the fact is that I've gone head-to-head with Putin and made it clear to him we're not going to take any of his stuff. He's Putin's puppy. He still refuses to even say anything to Putin about the bounty on the heads of American soldiers.
Your son got $3.5 million.
No,
Mr. President,
don't interrupt.
Mr. President, your campaign agreed to both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it, and why don't you observe what your campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay,
Joe
sir?
Wallace,
He never keeps his word. Can you add back
No, I'm not asking. That was a rhetorical question.
Can you add back 30 seconds?
Yes, you may have.
All right.
Go ahead.
So, thirdly, we're poor. The billionaires have gotten
Sometimes
much more
violence
wealthy
is needed. Yep.
by a tune of over $300 to $400 billion.
I think that's the only way we're going to see some of these
You
politicians
in the home,
see
you got
justice as
less.
well. You know what I
You're in
mean?
more trouble than you were
Especially
before.
like Ian Omar.
In terms of being more violent, when we were in office, there were 15% less violence in America than there is today. He's president of the United States. It's on his watch. And with regard to more divided, the nation can't stay divided. We can't be
Just
this way.
3.5 mil.
And speaking of my son, the way you talk about the military, the way you talk about them being losers.
Really?
And
We're
being-
going in on this?
And just being suckers. My son was in Iraq. He spent a year there. He got the Bronze Star. He got the Conspicuous Service Medal. He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm
Hunter?
talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about.
I don't know Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know
got
Bo.
thrown. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He
for
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use.
Oh, we can
And
look
he
into
didn't have
that.
a job until you became
You're
vice
saying that's not
president.
true?
And once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
He
My
made a
son,
fortune.
My son,
and he didn't have a job.
My son, like a lot of people we know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him.
But why was he
I'm proud of
given
my
tens
son.
of millions
All
of
right, but he
dollars?
wasn't given
All right,
tens of millions of dollars. That is
tens of
totally,
millions of
that's been
President Trump-
totally
President Trump,
discredited.
You should come with facts.
Totally
like-
discredited.
We've already been through this. I think the
Discredited.
American people would rather hear about more substantial
So do I.
subjects. Well, you know, as the moderator, sir, I'm going to make a judgment call here.
What about Hunter? And I didn't have
Mayor of
bones for his
Moscow.
either.
Talk about-
Not
I think
true.
it's a terrible
That
thing.
report is totally
Why did he get
discredited.
it?
I
Mitt
think,
Romney on that committee said it wasn't worth taxpayers'
that?
money, that report. It was written for political reasons.
you know, I'd like to talk about climate change.
So would I.
Oh, come on, really?
The forest fires in the West are raging now. They have burned millions
They
of
were
acres.
set on purpose.
They have displaced hundreds of thousands of people. When state officials there blame the fires on climate change, Mr. President, you said, I don't think the science knows. Over your 4 years, you have pulled the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Accord. You have rolled back a number of Obama environmental records.
Cocaine?
What do you believe about the science
It's not
of
true,
climate
but he
change,
overcame it.
and what will you do in the next 4 years to confront it?
I'm guessing he meant that it's not true that he got all that
Crystal
money.
clean water and air. I want beautiful, clean air. We have
Oh,
now
beautiful.
the lowest carbon. If you look
Right.
at our numbers right now, we are doing phenomenally. But I haven't destroyed our businesses. Our businesses aren't put out of commission.
Joe,
If you
walk
look at
over
the
there and
Paris
give
Accord,
Trump a
it
swift
was
kick in the ass.
disaster from our standpoint.
I'd pay
people
money to
are
see that.
actually very happy
Said it
about
on
what's
purpose.
going on because
Some
our
by
businesses are doing
auntie?
well. As far as the
Auntie?
fires are
Fa?
concerned, you need forest management in addition to everything else. The forest floors are loaded
Yes,
up
Hunter
with
was
trees,
dishonorably
dead
discharged.
trees that are years
Well,
old.
apparently
and they're
that's
like
not true
tinder,
either.
And leaves and everything else. You drop a cigarette in there, the whole forest burns down. You've got to have forest management.
What do you
You've got to have
believe?
cuts.
you
What
go,
do you
forest
believe about
management.
the science of climate change, sir?
Antifa
I believe
is
that we
Aunt
have to
Flo's
do
sister.
everything we can to
They're
have
both bitches.
immaculate air, immaculate water, and do whatever else we can that's good. You know, we're planting 1 billion trees, the Billion Tree Project, and it's very exciting.
How do you
believe
overcome
that
if
human
it wasn't true? Yeah.
Pollution, greenhouse gas emissions contributes to the global warming of
I
this
think
planet?
a lot of things do, but I think to an extent, yes. I think to an extent, yes. But I also think we have to do better management of our forests.
I wonder who's
Every
doing the next
year,
debate.
I get the call.
'Cause this is
California's
supposedly the
burning.
conservative,
California's burning. If
moderator,
that was
right?
cleaned, if you had forest management,
No, he's
good
not.
forest management, you wouldn't be getting those calls. You know, in Europe, they have forest cities. They're called forest cities. They maintain their forests. They manage their forests. I was with the head of a major country. It's a forest city. He said, sir, we have trees that are far more, they ignite much easier than California. There shouldn't be that problem. I spoke with the governor about it. I'm getting along very well with the governor. But I said, you know, at some point, you can't every year have hundreds of thousands of acres of land just burned to the ground.
But, sir,
That's burning down because of a lack of
But,
management.
sir, if you believe
There you
in
go.
the science
That's
of
actually
climate
truth.
change, why have you rolled back the Obama Clean Power Plan,
They should have
which
both
limited
come out with
carbon
G-strings
emissions in
and
power
see who had
plants?
the
Why
bigger
have you
package.
relaxed-
Because
Banana
we're driving
hammocks?
energy prices through the sky.
Why have you relaxed
You know that would
fuel
fix the global
economy
warming of this
standards
planet. Left to
that
shut the
are
L
going to
up.
create
F
more
up.
pollution from cars
Well,
and
not
trucks?
really, because what's happening is the car is much less expensive and it's a much safer car, and you're talking about a tiny difference. And then what would happen, because of the cost of the car, you would have at least double and triple the number of cars purchased. We have the old slugs out there that are 10, 12 years old. If you did that, the car would be safer. It would be much cheaper by
But in the case of
$3,500.
California, they've simply
No, but you
ignored
would take
your-
a lot of
your
cars
rollback.
off the market because people would be able to afford a car. Now, and by the way, we're going to see how that turns out. But a lot of people agree with me, many people. The car has gotten so expensive because they have computers all over the place for an extra
Yeah.
little bit
I
of
hate-
gasoline. And
That's not-
and I'm okay with
I don't know.
electric
I don't
cars
like,
too. I think I'm
I don't
all
like
for
a lot
electric
of
cars. I think
electronics in
big
my vehicles.
incentives
I
for
want to get
electric
an old
cars.
60s or
But what they've
70s
done in
vehicle again,
California
man.
is
Back
just
when it was
crazy.
simple.
Vice President Biden, I'd like you to respond to the president's climate change record, but I also want to
You
ask
know there should be a swimsuit
about
in the talent
concern.
portion
You
of the
proposed
presidential
$2 trillion
competition,
in green jobs. You talk
Back
about
when I did
new
Big
limits,
Brother,
not abolishing, but new limits
TV
on
show,
fracking,
I always thought it'd be
ending
cool
use
to have
of
all the
fossil
candidates
fuels
in a
to
Big
generate
Brother house.
electricity by 2035 and zero net emission of greenhouse gases by 2050. The president says a lot of these things would tank the economy and cost millions of jobs.
He's absolutely wrong, number one. Number two, if in fact, during our administration, the Recovery Act, I was in charge, able to bring down the cost of renewable energy to cheaper than or as cheap as coal and gas.
Well, yeah,
and
he
oil.
wants to get rid of coal.
Nobody's going to build another coal-fired plant in America. No one's going to build another oil-fired plant in America.
Wow.
They're going to move to renewable energy, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that we are able to
We
take
are the Saudi Arabia
federal
when it
fleet
comes
and
to
turn
coal.
it into a fleet that's run on their electric vehicles. Making sure that we can do that, we're going to put
We could be making so much
500,000
money from
charging
that.
stations and all of the highways that we're going to be building in the future. We're going to build a
Are you sure you wanna
economy
see
that,
Joe
in
in a
fact,
Speedo?
is going to provide for
Maybe.
the ability of us to take 4 million buildings.
You know,
and
it's kinda
make
like one of
sure
those
that
car
they, in fact,
crashes. You
are
just have to look.
weatherized in a way that, in fact,
OMG,
they-
spit it out. It's
they'll
not
emit
yours.
significantly less
I've seen
gas
worse.
and oil
Nothing scares
because
me
the heat
now.
will not be going
Big
out.
Brother
There's
After
so
Hours,
many things
orgy
that we
night.
can do now to create thousands and thousands of jobs. We can
I remember
get to
After
net
Hours.
zero in terms
Yeah.
of energy production by 2035. Not only not costing people jobs, creating millions of
2035.
good paying jobs.
15
not
years.
$15 an hour, but prevailing
That'll be
wage.
60.
By having a new infrastructure that, in fact, is
I hope I
green.
make it.
And the first thing I will do, I will rejoin the Paris Accord. I will join the Paris Accord because with us out of it, look what's happening. It's all falling apart.
Yeah, you get to see his
And
lake
talk
hair.
about
You
someone
can
who
then,
has
you know, when it's
no
wet, you can
relationship
like
with
push it
foreign
down and
policy.
wait for it to go.
Brazil, the
Whee!
rainforests of Brazil are being torn down, are being ripped down.
Joe's makeup job,
More-
I've seen better
more
on
carbon is
cadavers.
absorbed in that rainforest than every bit of carbon that's emitted in the United
Joe
States.
can use his black
Instead
mask
of
to hold
doing
up his
something
droopy
about
ball.
that, I would be gathering up and making
guys
sure
are
we had
ruthless.
the countries of the world coming up with $20 billion and say, here's $20 billion. Stop tearing down the forest. And if you don't, then you're going to have significant economic consequences.
What about the argument that President Trump basically says that you have to balance environmental interests and economic interests, and he's drawn his line?
Well, he hadn't drawn a line. He still, for example, makes sure that he wants to make sure that methane's not a problem. You can now emit more methane without it being a problem. Methane.
Dude, you
this is a guy who
emit
says
a lot
that
of methane,
you
I'm
don't
sure.
have to have mileage standards for automobiles that exist now. This is a guy who says that. Well, the fact is, it's all true. And here's
He's
the deal.
talking about the Green New Deal,
What's
and
true,
it's
Biden?
not $2 billion or $20 billion, as you said. It's $100 trillion.
I'm talking about
where they
the
want to rip
Biden
down
plan.
Go for a
buildings
minute, and then you can go.
and rebuild the building.
No,
It's the
that is
dumbest,
not-
most
that
ridiculous.
is not
where
the case.
airplanes are out of
Wait a minute, sir.
business,
That's it.
where two-car systems are out, where they
Not
want
true.
to take out the cows too.
Not
That's not
true.
true either, right?
Not
this is
true.
this is a 100
Simply,
trillion.
look,
That's more money than
that
our
is-
country could make in
that is
100
simply
years if
the
we
resemblance.
the case.
All right, let me,
It will-
let me,
it will
let me,
destroy
because,
our
because I
country.
actually, wait a minute, sir. I actually have studied your plan, and it includes upgrading 4 million buildings, weatherizing 2 million homes over 4 years, building 1.5 million energy-efficient homes. So the question becomes, the president is saying, I think some people who support the president would say that sounds like it's going to cost a lot of money and hurt the economy.
What it's going to do is going to create thousands and millions of jobs, good
$100
paying
trillion.
jobs.
But let him finish, sir.
He doesn't know how to do that.
$100
They-
billion.
The fact is, it's going to create millions of good paying jobs, and these tax incentives.
he's spewing
for people-
methane
for
right
people to
now, yep.
weatherize, which he wants to get rid of. It's going to make the
OMG,
economy
I'm
much safer.
not
Look how much we're
modest.
paying
I
now
let
to
my
deal with the
12-inch
hurricanes.
pecker
We can
hang
deal with. By the way, he has an answer
out
for
my
hurricanes.
shorts.
He said
Ooh.
maybe we should drop a nuclear weapon on them.
You heard
never
of my
said
dog's
that.
That's what he
face.
did say.
You made it up.
And here's the
my
deal:
dog's
make up a
face
we
look like
we are
that.
going to
I'd
be in a
shave his
position
butt
where
and teach
we can
her to
create
walk backwards.
hard, good jobs by making sure the environment.
If my
is
dog's butt
clean
looked
and
like
we
Joe's
all
face,
are in
I'd
better
teach her to
shape.
sit
We
up
spend
or sit and never get
billions
up.
of dollars now, billions of dollars on
Hey,
floods,
Irish is still in the chat,
hurricanes,
yep.
rising seas. We're in real trouble. Look what's happened just in the Midwest with these storms that come through and wipe out entire.
Yeah,
sections
he's gonna
of
blame
counties
all this on
in
global
Iowa.
warming.
They didn't happen before. They're because of global warming. We make up 15% of the world's problem. We, in fact, but the rest of the world, we've got to get them to come along.
Thousands
That's why
and
we have to
millions of
get back
quadrillions,
into-
yep. It doesn't
back
matter, it's all
into
fake.
The Paris Accord.
All right, gentlemen.
Wind
Wait a minute,
energy.
Chris, so why didn't he do it for 47 years? You were vice president. Why didn't you get the world? China sends up real dirt into the air. Russia does, India does, they all do. We're supposed to be good. And by the way, he made a couple of statements. The Green New Deal is $100 trillion,
That is
not
not
$20
my
billion.
plan.
That's
The Green
well,
New
you want to
Deal
rebuild every
is not
building.
my plan.
You want to
All right,
rebuild
all right.
every
If he knew
You have to-
anything
wait, no, no,
about,
wait.
if he knew
Gentlemen,
He
anything
made a
about,
statement
Gentlemen.
about the military. He said, I said something about the military. He and his friends made it up, and then they went with it. I never
There you
said
go.
it.
Okay.
That is
What
not
he
true.
did
Sir,
is he
you're done in
said
this segment.
he called the military
Mr. Vice President,
stupid bastards.
I
And he
did
said
not
it
Yep.
on tape. He said,
Mr.
I actually had
"Stupid
video of that.
bastards." He
Not
said
Sir,
it.
stop.
I would never
I
say
would
that
Play
to
it.
the
Stop.
military.
Play it.
Go ahead,
You're
Mr.
on
Vice
tape.
President.
I can play it. I actually saw that
His
today.
final question.
The final question is, I can't remember which of all.
He called the military stupid bastards.
I'm
He
having a little trouble
tried to
myself,
say it in
but,
jest, but he still said it.
And about the economy and about this question of what it's going
Let's
to
start
cost.
off our own fiat. Hell yeah.
I mean, the Green New Deal and the idea of what your
the
environmental
Green New
changes
Deal-
will do.
The Green New Deal will pay for itself as we move forward. We're not going to build plants that, in fact, are great polluting plants.
So do you
We're going to
support
build
the Green New Deal?
They
Pardon me?
took out
You
the
support-
dams
No, I don't support
for
the
the
Green New
Atlantic
Deal.
salmon.
Oh, well, that's a
You
big
let-
statement.
I
That
support
means you
the
just
Biden-
lost the radical left.
I
Done.
support
Oh, you
the
don't?
Biden plan that I put forward.
Okay.
The Biden plan, which is different than what he calls the radical Green New Deal.
All right, gentlemen, final segment, election integrity. As we meet tonight, millions of Americans are receiving mail-in ballots or going to vote early. How confident should we be that this will be a fair election? And
Oh,
what are
I'm
you
not
prepared
confident
to
at all.
do over the next 5+ weeks, because it'll not only be to Election Day, but also counting some ballots, mail-in ballots after Election Day. What are you prepared to do to reassure the American people that the next president will be the legitimate winner of this election? In this final segment, Mr. Vice
Play
President.
the debate I
Let
choose to
people
watch
vote.
it here.
You should go to iwillvote.com.
Play it.
Decide how they're going to vote, when they're going to vote, and what means by which they're going to vote.
Play it where he
His
said
own
the military is
Homeland
stupid
Security
bastards.
Director, and as well as the FBI director
I can
says
find
there
it
is
if you
no
want me to.
evidence at all that mail-in ballots are a source of being
I'll look for
manipulated
it.
and cheating. They said that. The fact is that there are going to be millions of people because of COVID that are going to be voting by mail-in ballots, like he does, by the way. He sits behind the Resolute desk and sends his ballot to Florida, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that those people who want to vote in person are able to vote because enough poll watchers are there to make sure they can socially distance. The polls are open on time, and the polls stay open until the votes are counted. And this is all about trying
Joe
to dissuade
Biden and his
people
running
from
mate,
voting
Senator
sorry about
Kamala
that.
Harris,
trying to
released their 20.
to scare people into thinking that it's not going to be legitimate. Show up and vote. You will determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote, vote. If you're able to vote early in your state, vote early. If you're able to vote in person, vote in person. Vote whatever way is the best way for you, because he cannot stop you from being able to determine the outcome of this election. And in terms of whether or not when the votes are counted, and they're all counted, that will be accepted. If I win, that will be accepted. If I lose, that'll be accepted. But by the way, if in fact he says he's not sure what he's going to accept, well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter, because if we get the votes, it's going to be all over. He's going to go. He can't stay in power. It won't happen. It won't happen. So vote. Just make sure you understand you have it in your control to determine what this country is going to look like the next 4 years. Is it going to change, or you get 4 more years of these lies?
Mr. President, 2 minutes.
We're going to get 4 more years of brand new
Listen
lies.
to Joe talking about a transition. There's been no transition from when I won. I won that election. And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition, because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won, and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that, because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition. As far as the ballots
All right,
are
are you guys
concerned,
ready
it's
for
a
the last
disaster.
code word or code phrase?
Solicited ballot. Okay,
There we go.
solicited is okay. You're soliciting. You're asking.
The
they
movie
send it back,
that
you
Trump
send it back.
did
I
a
that.
cameo
If you have
in
an
the
unsolicited-
90s
they're sending
or
millions
80s
of ballots all over the country.
was Home
There's
Alone
fraud.
2.
They found them in creeks. They found some with the name Trump. Just happened to have the name Trump just the other day in a waste paper.
So this last code phrase is Home Alone 2.
They sent out 1,000 ballots. Everybody
Go
got
ahead
their
and
ballots.
email
This
those
is going
in
to
to
be fraud
riddlegirlsstinger@gmail.com.
It's nice.
Try to get
On
those
November
in
3rd, you're watching
soon so
and
that
you
we
see
can
who won the
count them
election.
up.
And I think we're going to do well because people are really happy with the job we've done. But you know what? We won't know. We might not know for months because these ballots are going to be all over. Take a look at what happened in Manhattan. Take a look at what happened in New Jersey. Take a look at what happened in Virginia and other places. They're not losing 2%, 1%, which, by the way, is too much. An election could be won or lost with that. They're losing
California
30 and
professor
40%.
says white supremacy
It's
is the
a
cause of
fraud,
wildfires
and
and hurricanes.
It's a shame. And can you imagine where they say
I'm not
you
going to have all
your
the
ballot
code
in
words
by
my kids
November
called.
10th.
But that was the whole
November 10th.
idea, right?
That
Some
means
people won't
that's
have them all.
7 days after
But for every
the
one that you
election,
have
in
is an
theory,
entry. You still
should
could
have been
win.
announced.
Somebody with
We have
one code
major
word could
states
still
on
win.
that. All run by
2 minutes
Democrats.
is 2 minutes.
Vote
All
for
run
Trump,
by Democrats.
vote no to
President
Biden.
Trump,
It's a rigged
I-
election.
watchers,
you're
a lot
gonna
of
be
these
able to
at the show
continue.
club.
You have been charging for months that
Better than
mail-in
4 years
balloting
of
is
civil
gonna
war
be a
because you tried to
disaster.
take our
You say
guns.
it's rigged.
Yeah, I know,
That
right?
it's going to lead to fraud.
1992.
But in 2018, in the
That's
last
when the
midterm
Home Alone
election,
2 came out.
31 million people voted mail-in voting. That was
there a question in the
more
contest
than a
too?
quarter of all
Not for
voters
the
that
not
year
for
cast
the
their
piece of
ballots by
aluminum.
mail.
There is a
Now
question
that millions of mail-in
for one of
ballots
these,
have gone
and we're
out,
giving away 11
what
of
are you
them.
gonna do
So a
about
lot
it?
of you will win
And
it.
Are you counting
Because I
on the
believe there's like
Supreme
14
Court,
people watching right
including
now.
Justice Barrett,
But
to
anybody
settle any
watching,
dispute?
including on D Live, if
to
you're
look at
watching
the
on D
ballots,
Live, you can get in
definitely. I
on
don't
this
think
too.
I hope we don't need them.
So all the code
in terms
words,
of the election
email
itself.
Riddle Girl
But
Stinger
for the
about
ballots,
that.
I think so.
Do the subject
Because
as code
what's
word,
happening is
right?
incredible.
Or
I
code
just
words.
heard, I read today,
And
where
then
at least 1%
when this is over,
of the ballots for
I'll ask the
2016
question for this.
were invalidated. They take them. We don't like them. We don't like them.
But
They
what are you
throw
going to
them
do
out
about it?
left
There
and
are
right.
millions of ballots going out
What
right
you
now.
do
What
is
are
you
gonna
go
do?
and vote. You do a solicited
All right.
ballot.
Code
No,
word.
that's
Last
okay.
code word
Or
is
you
Home
go and
Alone
vote.
2.
Asking
I'm
you
going
about
to take
the
it
fact
down
that
now.
Millions of people
You go
have
and
received-
vote. You go and
No,
vote
but
like
what I'm
they
saying is, what are
like
you
they
gonna do
used
about
to
the
in
fact
the
that
old.
millions of people?
You either do, Chris, a solicited ballot where you're sending it in, they're sending it back, and you're sending. They have mailmen with lots of it. Did you see what's going on? Take a look at West
Project
Virginia.
Veritas, come
Mailmen
on.
selling the ballots. They're being sold. They're being dumped in rivers. This is a horrible thing for our country.
There is no.
This is not.
There is no.
This is not
evidence
going
There
to
is
end well.
evidence all over the
This is
place
not
of that.
going
Vice
to
President
end well.
Biden-
5 states
fact,
have had
go ahead,
mail-in
sir.
ballots for the last decade or more. 5, including 2 Republican states. And you don't have to solicit the ballot. It's sent to you. It's sent to your home. What we're saying is, they're saying is that it has to be a postmark by the time, by Election Day. If it doesn't get in till the 7th, 8th, 9th, it still should be counted. He's just afraid of counting the votes because he knows
You're
what the
wrong.
outcome
You're
is.
wrong.
No, I want to continue with you on
I
this,
love
Vice
counting the
President
votes.
Biden.
Chris, he's so wrong when he makes
in
a
fact,
statement
no,
like that.
excuse me, Vice President Biden. The biggest problem, in fact, over the years with mail-in voting, has not been fraud historically. It has been that sizable numbers, sometimes hundreds of thousands of ballots are thrown out because they have not been properly filled out, or there is some other irregularity, or they missed the deadline. So the question I have is, are you concerned that the Supreme Court, with a Justice Barrett, will settle any dispute?
I'm concerned that any court would settle this because here's the deal. When you get a ballot and you fill it out, you're supposed to have an affidavit. If you didn't know, you have someone say that this is me. You should be able to, if in fact you can verify that's you before the ballot is thrown out, that's sufficient to be able to count the ballot because someone made a mistake and not dotting the correct I. Who they voted for, testify, say who they voted for, say it's you, that is totally legitimate.
All right.
Excuse me, Chris, when you have 80 million ballots
I have a final
sent in
question.
and swamping the system, you know it can't be done. You know it can't, and already
All
there's
right.
been
So now,
fraud.
Mail
deception.
service delivers
wait a minute, gentlemen. In the
185
final
million
question
pieces of mail a
is:
day.
in 8
ballots.
states, we can keep talking. In 8 states,
Yeah, keep
election
talking.
workers
This is great.
are prohibited, currently by law, 8 states, from even beginning to process ballots, even take them out of the envelopes and flatten them until Election Day. That means that it's likely, because there's going to be a huge increase in mail-in balloting, that we are not going to know on election night who the winner is, that it could
think
be
we
days,
will.
It could be weeks.
It's just my opinion,
until
but
we
I think
find out
it's
who
going to
the-
be that good.
The new president
Or
is.
he'll
So
win by that much, I mean.
First for you, sir, finally, for the vice president, I hope neither of you will interrupt the other. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm during this extended period, not to engage in any civil unrest? And will you pledge tonight that you will not declare victory until the election has been independently certified?
Really?
President Trump, you
I'm
go first.
urging my supporters to go into the polls and watch very carefully, because that's what has to happen. I am urging them to do it.
We have to be
As
the
you know,
police.
today there was a big problem. In Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to
Mr.
watch.
TB, I
you know
just
why?
got earlier
'Cause bad
today
things
2
happen in
1-ounce gold
Philadelphia.
bars from
Bad
Scottsdale
things.
Mint
And
and
I am
30
urging,
hot
I am
packs.
urging my people.
Oh,
I hope
certified
it's going to be a
packs,
fair
right on.
election. If it's a fair
You're urging
election,
them what?
I am
Two.
100% on
One
board.
is my
But if
address
I
in
see
case I win
tens of
something.
thousands
Okay.
of ballots being
Most of you will win
manipulated,
at least a
I can't
silver
go along
round
with that.
dime.
And I'll tell
what
you
what does that
from
mean,
a
not go
common
along?
sense,
Does that mean
I'll
you're
tell
going to
you
tell
what
your
it means.
people to take to the
It means
street?
you have a fraudulent election.
I
You're
will.
sending out
Maybe.
80 million
Depending on where you
ballots.
live, I don't
They're
know. I
not
haven't
equipped
looked
to.
yet.
These people aren't equipped to handle it. Number one. Number two, they cheat. They cheat. Hey, they found ballots in a waste paper basket 3 days ago, and they all had the name
All right.
military ballots. They were military. They all had the name Trump on them.
Vice President
You think
Biden,
that's good?
Vice
Yeah.
President Biden, final question for you.
I like that
urge
he's
your
calling that
supporters
out.
to stay calm while the vote is counted, and will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yes, and here's the deal.
And that's what's going to get us Nancy
Ballots, as you
Pelosi
pointed
as
out.
president.
Some of these ballots in some states can't even be opened until Election Day. And if there's thousands of ballots, it's going to take time to do it. And by the way, our military, they've been voting by ballots since the end of the Civil War, in effect.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that's what's going to happen. Why was it not? Why is it for them somehow not fraudulent? It's the same process. It's honest.
not the same.
No one has established at all
Irish.
that there is
it the same
fraud
process
related to mail-in ballots?
with the mail-in
That
ballots?
Somehow it's a fraudulent process.
You probably
It's already
know.
been established.
Take
Take a look at Carolyn Maloney's race
I
in
asked
Manhattan.
you had an opportunity
Look
to
at
respond.
Carolyn Monroe.
Go ahead.
They have no idea what
Vice
happened.
President Biden, go ahead.
He has no idea what he's talking about. Here's the deal. The fact is, I will accept it, and he will too. You know why? Because once the winner is declared, after all the ballots are counted, all the votes are counted, that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of it. And if it's me, in fact, fine. If it's not me, I'll support the outcome, and I'll be a president not just for the Democrats. I'll be a president for Democrats and Republicans.
Bull crap.
And this guy,
I want to
if
see
in
an
fact,
honest
Okay,
ballot count.
gentlemen, you say that's the end of
Chris,
it? This is the
I
end
wanna
of this
see an
debate?
honest ballot count.
We're
And I
going to
think
leave
he
it
does
there.
too.
To be continued as
I don't
in
know,
more
man.
debates
This
as we
is,
go on.
Biden
President
did
Trump,
well. I have
Vice
to
President
say,
Biden, it's
did
been
all
an
right.
interesting hour and a half. I want to thank you both.
I mean, he's
for
definitely lying about a
participating
lot of stuff, but I'm
in
sure
the first
Trump
of
is
three
not telling the
debates that
truth
you have
on
agreed
everything
to
either.
engage in. We want to thank Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic for hosting this event. The next debate, sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates, will be 1 week from tomorrow, October 7th, at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. The two vice presidential nominees, Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala
Now, I
Harris,
am interested in that
will
one, the
debate at
vice
9
president
p.m. Eastern
debate,
that night.
because
We hope you
Kamala
watch.
Harris,
Until then, thank you.
she's got a better brain than Biden does, in my opinion. But Biden did well. I have to say, I think Biden held his own. Yeah, he lied about a lot of stuff. And yeah, he avoided a lot of questions. But, I mean, Trump wasn't perfect either on that. I think Trump did come off looking a little bit like an a-hole. But, I mean, that's why a lot of people like him, right? And I believe that's going to be it. But we'll keep watching while we talk. Real girl's over there putting your names on pieces of paper and then putting them in the coffee can.
Yeah, it's taking me a bit here.
Was there a question in the contest too? Yeah, I already read that. Come visit sometime. Mail in for deployed and the military. Yep. Carries them to the USPS. Oh! Did you hear? So he's got a few supporters in there. I'm sending it now from my wife's email. Okay. That's fine. Just make sure in the email, if you're hopefully haven't already sent it, I do need to know that it's Gerald B. So just in there with the comments, just say Gerald B. Transphibian, how you doing? You get any of the code words? You entering the contest? I hope you do. Why is Biden wearing a Joel Osteen type of shirt?
Now, there's somebody who sent their info that I don't know what their screen name is, and their email doesn't look like their screen name either.
Okay.
Initials KW. Can you please tell me who you are?
Yeah, sorry. I probably should have shared that. when you email, please send your screen name so that we can put your screen name in the bucket. You don't have to put your real name or anything like that, but a screen name would help quite a bit in there. So if you've already sent in your answers to the code words, send another email just with your username so that we make sure everybody is straight and ready to go to enter this. Let's see. Why is Biden... Oh, I read that. Jake Tapper says it's the worst debate ever. Does he? I didn't like it that much. I mean, I was expecting a better debate. I guess I was expecting Joe Biden to bumble a little bit more than he did. He bumbled a little bit. I am kind of sad he didn't go on a fist fight because that's always his thing, right? Like, oh, I'd take you out backside the woodshed if we were 20 years younger or whatever. Yeah, right, you would. You both about, well, I mean, Biden's a little bit older than Trump, but, you know, you're both, it's not like he's 30 years old and you're, 70, whatever, right? So let's have a fight. Joe's just a bunch of talk and bluster. Transphibian, sorry, I just came back from dinner. That's all right. Well, it's got my name, Gerald B. Sorry about the 3 emails, OMG says. No, you're fine. Just want to know who's entering the contest. Once again, we're going to be ending the stream at 8 p.m. or 8-ish. I'm going to, we want to make sure we get everybody's thing, and then we want to draw for the winner, right? So it might be a little bit after 8. But, yeah, we're going to do that. Well, I'm sure you can tell my name, the B, is the first letter of my last name. Okay. So here it is. This is the paperweight that's made out of aluminum, right? And it is a paperweight because there's nothing drilled out right there. There's no holes right there either. So if you wanted this paperweight to be anything but a paperweight, you would have to do that yourself. And I am not liable for what you do with it. But I think it's a really cool paperweight. So that's the main prize, right? That's what we're playing for. Riddle Girl's over there writing names down as we speak. Feverishly. Apparently a lot of interest. Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you, guys. This has been fun. I've had a good time tonight. And I would tell you what the question is for the silver dimes, but at the same time, I don't want to flood the email again because that's also going to be an email thing, okay? So keep Riddle Girl's email address handy because we're going to do the silver dime thing. Now, we got some rosies, right? It's hard to, the camera doesn't go that far. But, there's a Roosevelt dime, okay? And I also have 3 Mercury dimes. Aren't those cool? I never had a Mercury dime before I got into collecting silver. But I think they're really cool. So there's 11 dimes in total. 11 people will win this. And you didn't have to watch the whole stream for this one. You just have to be here when I give it away. And as soon as Riddle Girl says she's got all the names written down, we'll go ahead and ask the question.
I responded back to somebody who didn't put their screen name. I hope they respond back, so I don't want to have to read their actual name on them.
Yeah, no, we're not going to read anybody's actual name. However, while we wait on that, you guys wanted to see this. This is Joe Biden calling the military, "You stupid bastards," right? Once again, for some reason, I have to do this. There we go.
Understanding what you may hear about me, I have incredibly good judgment. 1, I married Jill. And 2, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastards. Understanding what you may hear about me, I have incredibly good judgment. 1, I married Jill. And 2, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastards.
They're really showing themselves to do really well. Come on, man.
Sorry, what riddle?
I was just thanking QC Hemp for responding back.
Oh,
with their name.
QC Hemp was the one that didn't respond with their name. All right, cool, man. Awesome. We're getting it done. We're getting it done. So what do you think of that, Joe, saying that, clap for that, you stupid bastards? I mean, I kind of get it. You know, military people, I wouldn't say he's military, but, I mean, his son apparently went to the military. Well, both of them. And, well, did both of them go? I know one of them got dishonorably discharged, right? But, is that just playful ribbon? Or does it matter? Are you offended if you're military over that? Irish, are you offended over that? I mean, obviously it's Joe Biden, right? But let's say, no matter who it is, right? Your favorite president, which I haven't had a favorite president that was ever on TV, or probably ever, I don't know if they ever ribbed on the military like that, but I don't know. For me, it's not horrible, right? I don't think he actually is calling them that as much as, you know, it's kind of a in jest kind of thing. I think it's poor taste. I think he shouldn't have done it. But I mean, I've accidentally called Bikes and Bullets ex-Marine, or an ex-Marine, and I didn't mean to. It's just one of those things that slips out, right? And I know a Marine is always a Marine. And I knew it at the time, too. It was one of my drunk chats. And just didn't think for a second. You know what I mean? Let's see.
Okay, I think I responded to everybody that their entries have been confirmed.
Okay, Saints and Sappers. I think Trump for 100. Joe just grabs kids. Trump will rail on him. Okay. Thank you, Riddle Girl, very much. The debate was just another form of entertainment for this evening. It was. I mean, I don't think we changed many minds here. I think if we did change minds, I don't know, man. I would say Trump maybe won a little, but he also looked like an a-hole, right? So if anybody was on the fence who got turned off by Trump's attitude, then yeah, they're going to vote for Biden. But if they do like police, they might vote for Trump. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Irish says, I'd walk out. No, he's a freaking idiot. All right. And it was Hunter, LOL. Saints and Sappers that says this. Okay. I think that was in reference to maybe something that you'd said earlier. Oh, I'll take this. Or this Trump for 100. Joe just grabs kids. Okay. He has no affiliation to talk like that to them. All right. Transphibians laughing. I agree with this. Yeah, Irish is my military person I always go to. Armed Archangel, still inappropriate, but he could have called them crazy bastards instead of stupid bastards. Okay, yeah, I get you. Irish says, brothers have the right to talk smack, not some suit. Even if that suit has a son or sons in the military, Irish? This question, I have no idea. What will the stock market do tomorrow, up or down? I'm going to say stay the same-ish, like within a few points. I don't think it's going to move a lot. I think the stock market's going up because they think the economy is getting better. Before we draw a name, Riddle Girl, let me go ahead and get ready. Hope you all have her email. I don't know if you're going to get a Merc or if you're going to get a Rosie. As I said, there's 11 dimes in total. 3 of them are Mercs. So 3 people are going to get a Mercury dime. The question that I want you to email Riddle Girl, do not answer it in the chat, please, or you'll be out of the contest. And only 11 people can win. So it's the first 11. It's the first 11 emails that Riddle Girl receives with the correct answer.
And a valid address if I don't already have it.
Right. So I'm going to let you go ahead and get your email open right now. Compose an email. Put riddlegirlstinger@gmail.com. Subject, silver dimes. Okay. And then put in your name and address. And then get ready for the question. Okay. Because only the first 11 people, the first 11 emails that we receive get a dime. Okay. Let's see. Hell no. He has a pencil pushing bitch. Biden does?
Oh, he is a pencil pusher.
Oh, he is a pencil. All right. So here's the question. What was the last year that we had constitutional silver in our currency? What's the last year that you could find change that was 90% silver? It's a really easy question. You can Google it if you want, but the first 11 email correct answers gets one of these dimes. The last year, it's the last year that these 90% silver dimes were in general circulation or were made for general circulation, right? So no dimes, no quarters, no half dollars after this date had 90% silver. Half dollars still had like 40% for the next few years, but all right. While you do that, we'll go ahead and get ready with the coffee can. I'll go ahead and mix it up.
Mix it up good, because I was just throwing them in there.
I'll do that. Riddle Girl, you want to check your email, see if anybody is responding to the question?
So far for silver dimes.
Only 2 responses, so we still have 9 more silver dimes to give away. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but it's a cool piece, right? It's a cool piece.
3 entries for silver dimes.
All right, cool. 3 are gone. I can't do math that quick. Show you the cards. There's all the entries. I'm not drawing yet.
4 are gone.
4 are now gone.
5 are gone.
Ooh, only 6 left. 5 are gone. Grant Newlands, hi, in the UK here. Biden certainly wasn't as combative as I thought he would be. Trump was too combative, and if anything, I would agree with you on that, Grant. I think Trump's standout moment was talking about law and order. I would also agree with that. And Grant, I don't know how much it is to ship you stuff. I know that people in the UK have a hard time collecting silver because there's like extra tax on silver. You want a silver dime? The question is, I don't know if we still have any.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We have 7 entries. The question, email it to riddlegirlstinger@gmail.com, is what is the last year that the U.S. produced 90% silver constitutional change? After this, they started making clad metal coins. The last year, 90% silver. We still have entries available.
3 left.
3 left. Only 3 entries left. 3 more dimes to give away. And I'll send it to the UK. I think I can. I'm pretty sure I can. So you're more than welcome to enter as well. Thank you very much for joining my stream. And if you like the stream, please leave a like on the video as well. If you didn't like the stream, obviously you can leave a dislike. And if you really like the stream, subscribe or share. Well, the stream's almost over, but you can always share any of my other videos if you want. OMG says, I sent my response. Mine is on the way now. Well, I mean, oh, your email is on the way. I was going to say, I haven't gotten to the mailbox yet. That was the year. Yeah, no. Shh. Repeat email, please. It's right in the thing here, but it's riddlegirlstinger@gmail.com. So here it's coming up right now. You see it right there. riddlegirlstinger@gmail.com. Good luck. Good luck. You just bought some 40% halves. You know, I've always thought about getting 40% halves.
Mr. TV9, is he allowed to do more than one? For the dimes?
Not for the dimes. Only 1 entry for the dime, dude. Good try.
Irish tried too.
Good try. Let's see. I do have some halves. I'm not giving these away, but I do want to show them. I have some Franklins, and here's the Franklin halves, right? Those are kind of cool. Benjamin Franklin. And then I have some Kennedys. This one's got really cool toning, or maybe it might have been in a fire. but the detail, I know it looks like crap, but the detail is really, really impressive on that one, right? And I just love the sound of the silver.
It's got a nice taste to it.
Yeah. In fact, you can ring it, you know.
Oh, Mr. TV9, you're not getting 3 entries or 3 dimes.
No, only one per person, please. All right. Okay. Just bought some 40%. I would like to get some 40% halves just to have. Also, like Eisenhower dollar coins, that'd be kind of cool. Joe Biden avoided the filibuster and stacking the court. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. What's up, Fallout Gaming? How you doing this evening? By the way, I have been uploading... Oh, I forgot to tweet it out. I have been uploading videos to my Stinger's Playground, which is my gaming channel. Fallout Gaming, I don't know if you do the Among Us, but I've been trying to do Among Us with randos. I have not been able to do any, I've not been able to use any footage from that because it's a whole bunch of childish behavior. And it's like, I would have to pretty much edit out the whole thing. What makes them a half dollar? 50 cents. You know, half dollar. So, yeah, my Kennedy halves, right? And if you ever got a half dollar today, you would get a Kennedy half, right? That's what half dollars are right now, is the John F. Kennedy. Well, at a certain year, they were 90% silver. And
he's bragging now. Mr. TV9, I'm going to shake my 45-pound bag. So here's the jingle.
Yeah. This is for people who are not into it too much either. It's a cool historic piece. Any entries left, Riddle? Or are we at 11?
We've got 3 left.
Okay,
we
3
had
people.
A couple of people that were just being overambitious there.
All right, well, we might just end it right there. I would love to play Among Us. All right, let's see, Riddle Girl, no. Let me see if I can't bring up. Yeah, I can bring this up, I think. Is this? Yeah. You updated Stingy's phone pic? Oh my goodness, really? My thumbnail? Nice. All right, let me just pull this up real quick. Switch account. Oh, come on with the robot thing, man. I'm so done with this.
Crosswalk.
Yeah. At least you guys don't have to look at this one. Traffic lights. So lame. All right. Okay. All right. So here's the link to my gaming channel. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Gerald B, do you have a link? Gerald B. CBS is saying Biden won the debate. All right. I would love to play Among Us. Found a few silver dimes and a coin star. Right on. Go for it, Mr. TB9. Video, good to know. I play COD Mobile. I thought about I have played COD Mobile. I don't play it anymore. I do play Warzone once in a while. Gerald B, do you have a link? And I think I have 6 or 7.999 gold dimes, one on eBay. Yeah, that is interesting. I really want to get one of those. Unfortunately, we've come under some tough times that we have to save all of our money and maybe even take a little bit out to be able to afford some things that are coming up. So, not buying anything right now. But I'm giving away stuff. Why not? Because it's fun. Okay, I've mixed this up enough. You guys ready? A link for what? They're talking about CBS, or I think the CBS thing where they're calling Biden the winner. All right, who do you want to draw? You want Riddle Girl to draw, or you want me to draw? Riddle Girl, you want to draw?
Sure.
All right. Do I ever play Sea of Thieves? No, I don't, but I might. I need more games on the channel. All right, so she can't see what name she's drawing. No, she's giving it a final mix.
All right, I think I grabbed one.
All right, wait to open it. So thank you once again. Thank you to everybody who entered. Seriously, I wish I had more to give away. That's why I decided to do the dimes as well, so people would have a chance, right? And if we don't get 11 entries by the end of the stream, then I'm just going to keep the dimes. Is what it is. All right. So here's the name right here.
Yep.
We have a winner. Very fun game. I have seen it played. All right. You ready?
Who's the winner?
Where it is? Where did I put it?
What?
The prize.
Right here.
Okay. So Riddle Girl can show the prize. It's the aluminum paperweight. You guys ready? I noticed that I dropped it below camera, so you're gonna have to trust me that I didn't do anything shady. I hope you guys do, because I wouldn't pull that. All right, so let's see who it is. I don't think you guys can see it. It is, oh my goodness, I don't have to pay for shipping. It is the Broken Patriot.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Wow.
You just won an 80% paperweight. I don't know, how many entries did he have?
3, I think.
3? Wow, see, anybody can win it. So thank you very much for everybody joining. Thank you everybody who entered into that contest. I really do appreciate it. Let's see, pull an OMG out. I just had my TV on in the background. Armed Archangel says, gotcha. Poison, let me know when you get Sea of Thieves. I have tons of hours in it right now, and I love the game. I would love to play with you. Dude, I will download it. Depending on how much it is, I will download it almost immediately. Maybe I'll get in touch with you later tonight or tomorrow, most likely. Congratulations, Broken Patriot. Yeah, man. Congratulations, Broken Patriot. And you just got to win the rest. Well, dude, that's a start, man. That's how I built my first rifle. Well, not with an 80%er, but my first rifle was bought piece by piece. It took me almost 5 years to put together. It's the zombie. If you want to go to my videos in the playlist, it's the Zombie Hunter lower, or the zombie build. And that rifle is now called the Phoenix because it's not a zombie build anymore. And pretty much every part almost has been replaced at least once. Very little is on that's original right now. Send him a friend request at Fallout Gaming. Yes, do that. Thank you. There's my Steam thing. Thank you, Riddle Girl. Armed Archangel, LOL BP. Yeah, he's local too. So hopefully you guys don't call me BS for that, because I try to do that as fair as possible. I want to play World of Warships. Well, that's a free game. You can get that game for free. Congrats at Broken Patriot. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate it. So, you've never won anything? Well, you did now. And since you're local, I can actually help you with it if you really want. You have to be there and you have to do the work, technically, legally, if you wanted to do anything with it, right? If you wanted to do anything with it and you wanted my help to do it, I could tell you what to do and I can lend you my tools, but you would have to technically do it legally. What?
Yeah, you'd just be able to supervise him.
I could supervise and tell you what to do, yes. If you wanted to do it. If not, I mean, if you want to get rid of it, if you want to sell it, because right now I would imagine they're going for a pretty penny. I haven't priced them, right, because I haven't been in the market to buy one. I bought mine pretty cheap. You know, the one that I just gave away, it was pretty cheap, but they're hard to find right now. I bet you could get something for it if you really wanted to do that. QC Hemp says, congrats. See you in the seas later. Bad puns. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. I'm ending it there. I'm cutting off the silver dimes. If you haven't gotten your silver dime entry in, I apologize, but we're calling it now. Riddle Girl, stop it.
Okay.
Everybody who got the question right will get a dime in the mail, provided you gave me your address and where to send it.
There's a person that I didn't see before for the 80% lower. They submitted the right answer, but I need an address.
Okay. Did he give you his screen name?
No. Unless it is their screen name, which I don't know. You'd have to scroll up and find that person in Europe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I definitely wanted to send him one. Let's see. Where was he? Grant Newlands,
Yep,
right?
that's the person.
All right, Grant Newlands, I need your address in order to send that. If you could please do that, that'd be great. And then you can have a little bit of American history. Isn't that cool? I mean, that would be cool to me, right? If I was entered into a contest for British silver that was around as actual currency before it became clad, man, I'd be all over that. Right? I love the historicness of it. And especially from another country, because it brings a whole other thing. Like who held that and all that stuff, right? So, cool. Congrats, Grant. I'm glad you got in on that.
Yep, it looks like everybody who submitted one will be getting a dime.
Everybody who submitted is going to get one because we did not get 11 entries, right? How many entries did we get?
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
We got 9 entries, so 2 dimes are going to stay. I'll tell you what. I have 3 Mercury dimes, and I'm gonna put all 3 of them in there. So 3 Rosies are not going to be given away. That'll give you a better chance, I guess, at getting in a Merc, because I could take out the 3 Mercs. But I think the Mercs are kind of cool because, by the way, since the contest is now over, the answer was 1964. Right? 1964 was the last year that silver was 90% silver coinage here in America. But we do have some Roosevelt dimes. We have 3 Mercs. The Mercs are from the early 1900s, I think 1916. I could be totally wrong on that. But I know they ended the Mercury dimes in 1945. 1945 was the last Mercs. 1946, it switched over to Roosevelt. So I have the Mercury dimes in here. I believe some of them are from the 20s. Let's see. I have to get out my thing real quick. There's one from 1926. 1925. And let's see, where's the next one? And 1941. So 1941, World War II, right here. World War II.
Fallout Gaming, I just sent you a friend request so I can make sure I don't forget your screen name for him later.
All right.
So it's not me being creepy, it's just trying to make sure we don't lose your screen name.
Okay. Riddle Girl says we're not trying to be creepy. We're just not trying to lose your screen name, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Who all won the dimes? We read that. Irish, make sure you're sub to my channel, and I'll be giving away a paperweight as well. A USMC birthday. Yes. Irish USMC vet. Hopefully you'll be doing videos again soon, bro. Man, I miss doing the morning muster. I really do. I'd love to get back into doing that. It was good times, and I really enjoyed the talking with you all the time. And I probably should text you more often, but I don't. But yes, he wants to give away a paperweight as well. So definitely go check out Irish USMC Vet's channel. Bry says, I'll send you an address. Cool. You have a Nazi penny? That's badass. I had a few Nazi coins in the past, back when I was a teenager. I have a place where I could get some, and I kind of want them. However, unfortunately, you get labeled as crap, but I'm a big fan of history. And I'm not a fan of the Nazis, but I am a fan of the history. And just like I love I love Confederate money, because it's the losers, right? It was for a very short time, just like Nazi money was for a very short time. It's very rare. It's interesting, right? The year before I was born, I'll be 55 on Friday. Right on.
Irish, share the link to your site, dude.
Yeah, share your link to your YouTube channel, please, Irish. Although I think people could... No, they can't click on your name. OMG, I might have a paperweight part I can send to giveaway. Oh, to Irish? Right on. Or to mine, because mine's already given away. But you're more than welcome to add to Irish's as well. That'd be awesome. They're running about $6.50 on eBay. Oh, the Nazi pennies? Yeah, they were the. Where are the morning mustards? I don't know, man. I think. Well, he says his internet's got problems, but I don't know. I bet BP would love them parts for his new build. Seriously, man, that would be cool. I got some, but I don't have a full kit, right? I have like leftover parts. But technically, to if I don't know if Broken Patriot's still in the house, but you can put together, or I could put together a AR-15 for, well, back in the day. Okay, this whole environment that we're in right now is different, right? But back in the day, I could put together an AR-15 for around $400. That's including the lower, and you just got one for free, right? So the lowers are usually right around $100 by themselves. So I mean, that's a pretty good chunk. So from 400 down to almost $300, you could probably put it together, and you do it a little bit at a time, right? So just a few dollars. Well, it'd be more than a few bucks. Usually it's like, I don't know, 30 or 40 bucks every once in a while you put a part in. Some parts are more than $100, like the barrel might be, right? So that one you might have to save up for a little bit. But that's how I put together my first rifle, man. It was great. Broken Patriot's still here. Cool. But it could be done. It could be done. But you got to promise me that you're not going to shoot at a target when somebody's downrange. You know what I mean? That's not safe. And I don't care how good of a shot you think you are, that's dangerous as hell. You know what I mean? I'm going to try for October Mr. TB9 computer problems. Okay. I have all the parts for builds. Yeah, I bet you do. I wouldn't doubt it at all. And OMG is subbed Irish. Right on. Well, we got Irish new sub. Awesome. That is cool. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching my stream. In the descriptions below, we, as always, have links to the stream and what we've been doing. So let me go over those a little bit. First and foremost, the video that comes on before I come on live is Adam Lawson's Blessed. If you like that song and you want to hear more from Adam Lawson, check out the first link in the descriptions below. Next is all the causes that I support. And sorry, hold on a second. Next is all the causes that I support and recommend. First one is for Corey. Actually, I need to bring this up because I do not have it on right now. So give me 1 second, guys. I don't know why I don't have this up. Riddle Girl, how you doing?
I'm good. What?
Nothing.
Want to make a noise?
You're fine. Okay, Justice for Cannon. I need my cheat sheet, okay? Justice for Cannon. It's the little boy, 5-year-old, who got shot by his neighbor in his head. They won't put that on the news because the boy is white and the neighbor's black. Kyle Rittenhouse's defense fund. If you want to donate to that, there's a link to that to his actual lawyer's page. Ryan Whitaker was a man in Phoenix who was shot and killed by police in the back while trying to comply and get on the ground. If you want to know more about Ryan Whitaker, check out his Facebook page, Justice for Ryan. And if you know about Ryan Whitaker's story, he also has a GoFundMe set up in his name from his family. Next is Help Find Our Missing in Action. That's projectrecover.org. They go out and look for our service members lost in battle and return their remains to their families. And lastly, my good friend, Irish USMC vet, who's in the chat right now, has a GoFundMe set up for his project that he's trying to set up. He's wanting to get a piece of land in Tennessee where veterans can come and live room and board free while learning a new skill like farming, blacksmithing, and gunsmithing, etc. Next is all the ways you can support my channel. If you want to support my channel, I have quite a few different ways of doing that. And there's even a code in there to get $10 free Bitcoin for you if you don't already have any Bitcoin, and it's free. You could probably cash it out right away, right, Riddle? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that'd be free $10.
If it's your first time signing up for Coinbase, yes, you get that
Yep.
right away.
If it's the first time you're signing up for Coinbase, you get the $10 right away. You can cash out and be done with it if you want. or you can try to get a little. We've gotten a little bit of crypto just by, you know, some of the offers and, you know, click here and do this and you get a little bit of crypto, right? So that's how we've gotten all of ours. There's also a PayPal link in there if you want to do that option as well. Next is all the places that you can follow me. I'm on BitChute. However, I might not be for very much longer because they keep having such issues with my uploads. DLive, which I do have some people watching on DLive. So hello everybody on DLive. Thank you very much for watching. Parler, which I'm on now, and YouTube. If you're not watching me on YouTube, I'm also on YouTube. Facebook and Twitter. Now the Facebook is Riddle Girl because I don't really like to do the books of faces, but she does, and she talks about when I go live, and she also has some other good political stuff that you might appreciate. Lastly is the Twitter, which I finally got unbanned for, and I've been tweeting a little bit here and there. So check those out if you're interested. Right, and let me just make sure that I'm caught up with chat.
Yeah, you're not. So.
No, I'm not. Okay, let me just go back a little bit. All right. With my bad vision, I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn standing in it. Okay. Mr. TB9 has a warehouse full of cool stuff. I bet he does. Time to play COD, COD, Call of Duty. I heard they just banned a whole bunch of people that were hacking, so that's a good thing. Mr. TB9 seemed to have a boating accident and lose it all. Broken Patriot, Nomad Internet is a great internet if you can get a good internet at your home. Okay. Armed Archangel, whatever happened to the others of his you used to use, Peace Stinger? Whatever happened to the other of his you used to use? Little girl, you're going to have to help me out with that.
Other song from...
Oh. Yeah, Break Quarantine. I have that one too. I just don't play it because it gets my video copyrighted, not by him, but by the person that he used, he sampled. He like hard sampled, like he took the whole dang thing, right? So I get copyrighted. If it was copyrighted by him, I'd be okay with it, but it's not. It's copyrighted by the person he sampled, right? But the blast doesn't get copyrighted.
Yes, Grant, I got your email. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Grant sent message back. Great show. Another debate question. Did you notice when Trump said in relation to right-wing groups and to instruct them to stand down, he instead said, stand back and stand ready? I did not notice that. There was a lot of talking going on at the time. But here's the thing. We can all agree that the person, anybody who's racist and attacks somebody because of their color of their skin should be shunned by society, should be tried for their crimes, the whole bit, right? I am not in disagreement with that. Here in America, though, you do have a right to assemble. You do have a right to join and become a militia, right? You have that right. It's in the Second Amendment, right? So, like Kyle Rittenhouse, he was asked to protect this business, right? He didn't, and if you watch all the footage from that night of Kyle, there was plenty of times where he was trying to be helpful. He did not go there to hunt anybody down. It's my opinion, right? He did not do that to hunt anybody down. Just go over here real quick so I get a little bit closer to y'all. So my opinion of Kyle Rittenhouse, I think it was 100% self-defense. You have every right to go to these protests and protect businesses. It's one of the reasons why we have the Second Amendment. Now, the protesters have every right to protest peacefully. But when they're lighting dumpsters on fire and then pushing them into buildings, you have the right not to shoot them. You have the right to try to stop them. If they then try to kill you for stopping them, you have a right to defending yourself. That's how that works. Kyle Rittenhouse will get off. I think he will. I don't think he will have to stay in jail for any length of time, but that's just my opinion. Mr. TB9 says, come join me on my canoe. Bri, great job tonight. Hope everyone else is having a good evening. Video from Adam. Shit was terrible, but Trump won. I don't know, man. Hey, what's up, Tactical Tony? I thought you were going to have a chat, bro. I thought you were going to have one. I didn't see. I actually was going to during the chat when it was kind of like, I was thinking about, I actually went to check to see if you were having one. I was going to stream your stream a little bit, right? But I didn't see it. USMC says, hello to TAC. Yeah, it was fun. When's the next debate? I'm not exactly sure, but we will be streaming it. I would get here at the end. Found a nice duck hunting spot in Penobscot Bay area near the movie Red October ended. Right on. Mr. TB9, hey Tony, had to let the dogs in. Well, at least you didn't let the dogs out. Whoop, whoop. Right? Damn riptides dump out guns overboard all the time. That is horrible. Speed on Blu-ray. Oh, well, dang, I missed sending the email. Sorry, QL. Sorry, QL. Better luck next time. Irish is going to have a chat for the Marine birthday, and he's giving away a paperweight as well. So you can maybe enter that one. You're going to have to talk to him or, subscribe to his channel and maybe send him a message on how to get in on that one. Right? But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button before you leave if you enjoyed the chat. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit that bell if you want to know exactly when we go live. And share the video if you want to help out, but not monetarily, because that really does help my channel out quite a bit. And I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Until tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Arizona time. I'm Poison Stinger, and keep your family close. Watch out for that government and try to live as free as you possibly can in these tyrannical times that we find ourselves in. Until tomorrow night, peace.